Oh, hi. Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here. It is Tuesday, and the Raptors beat the Hornets last night. Yeah, I think that's what happened. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little casual today. I'm trying to match the energy of the Raptors, and this is just how I'm gonna start things. So maybe I'll start a little like shitty, a little bad, like not professional, and just kind of like I showed up 2 minutes late. Yeah, I'm 2 minutes late, y'all. And I'm just going to be doing this half assed for the first half of the stream. Yeah. Yeah. I might just be kind of nonchalant and just kind of like, who gives a fuck? Who cares? Yeah, whatever. This is how I might act for like the first hour of our stream and just kind of be like, yeah, I won't be professional like I am. Every day, I'm a professional when I do this stream. I'm not gonna be professional today. I'm gonna be a little bit, yeah. Who cares? Whatever. Who cares? Hey, I want to mirror the team's energy because that was pathetic. You would be like, "Whoa, Lex, they won last night." I don't give a fuck if they won last night. That was some of the most unprofessional garbage I've ever seen an NBA team ever play on a court in the first half of that game last night. And it pissed me off because I saw the depths of how unprofessional they are. Oh my God. Thank God they were playing a hurt Charlotte Hornets team last night. Oh my God. That's the only way they got that W. Only way, other than my man Barnes stepping up and playing like the man, dominating in the second half of the game. But early on, that was ugly. That was horrible. You're making people in Toronto want to just like never ever watch you again. What the hell is wrong with y'all Raptors? Seriously. That you can't get this right. You can't show up. I mean, I seen some egregious ass shit last night. Holy crap. The laziness, the unconnectedness, the unprofessionalness, the easing in the game, showing up late, doing no, not giving a shit enough in the right way. What the hell has happened to the professionalism of our team? I felt so bad for Darko in the first half. I'm like, man, they, what is he supposed to do with these guys? These guys are just not doing it right professionally. They're not professionals in the first half. So I'm not gonna be professional either, guys. I'm gonna pick my nose. I'm gonna act stupid on this channel, even more stupid than I normally act, because it's just not professional. Why should we be professional? Oh, hi, I'm a puppet. I'm not professional. I'm just gonna act like this on the show for the first half of it because this is what the Raptors did last night. Act unprofessional, not taking it seriously. It makes me mad. And we could get away with that with this, but let's see. Seriously, y'all gonna play the Nuggets tomorrow. You better show up the right way tomorrow against Nikola Jokic. And then, oh my God, if y'all play the way y'all played in the first half last night against the Philadelphia 76ers on Friday night against Nick Nurse's team, y'all are going to get routed by 60 or 70 or 80 points. You may break all kinds of stupid ass records for getting your ass beat. And don't think that Nick Nurse won't want to do it. Run it up on y'all and kick the shit out of y'all like crazy on Friday if you don't come correct, because he will. Oh yeah. He's been running it up on people just like who we just played last night. He just dropped the worst ever defeat in Charlotte Hornets history on the Hornets on Saturday night, like a 50 something crazy ass win. Nick Nurse has no mercy at this point. If the Raptors want to be lambs to the slaughter, well, they play like last night when they go to Philadelphia on Friday. Woo, it's going to be ugly. Oh my God, it's going to be so ugly. Y'all, this is a hollow victory. There's a couple of good bright points about this game last night, but otherwise, we should not be proud of this game in any kind of way. For most of the game, we were equals with half the Charlotte Hornets team. They're not, none of these guys were there. Hayward, Miles Bridges, Kobe Martin, PG, there's a lot of them that were not there last night. And we still were like equal, and we're healthy. We're 100% healthy. This is pathetic. It's pathetic. And this is how I'm talking on the day after a win, y'all. Everybody who's celebrating last night, don't. You can celebrate for Scott, sure. Scotty had a superstar game. Scotty's going to make the all-star team because he played like he did last night. I'll bet you money. Yeah, this guy played so good last night. People are going to see that. You're going to see how he dominated late in the game. Just going and getting the ball. It's your ball, Scott. I told you that. You can go get it whenever you fucking want. It's not like anybody can stop you. It's not like anybody's going to say, oh, I'm going to stop Scott Barnes. No, you're not. You're not. Because if he really wants that ball at any time, he can go get it. And he'll go put it right back in. So we saw Barnes. And two of the things I've been saying about him for the last 2 years are coming to fruition now. Hey, I've told y'all we don't need no superstar to come and save us. Do you see what we've got? This guy's potential is off the charts. This guy is going to be the next Giannis. This guy is huge as far as a superstar and the potential that he will grow into. And now, all you casuals, all you people that were like, oh, we need a new hero. Okay, Tina Turner, we don't need another hero. We got him. And he's number 4 that wears for the Raptors. And that man showed up late in the game. Holy crap. When the guys on the team were not really playing that well, and in the beginning, there was one guy who went the other direction and was like, I'm going to try even harder. And he did. And he was successful, and he kicked so much butt. I'm so proud of you, Scott. I'm so proud of you because in some ways, you were tested. When it gets real dark, what do you do? What do you do, young man? When it gets real dark in the arena, the bright lights and the crowds, but it's dark in there. What do? You step up and you give more. You get more agitated and energized. And you get after that ball, whether it's on the defensive end or the offensive end. You saw what I said, and this is the second thing that I was right about. That is Kawhi Leonard. Yes, it is. That man has the skills of Kawhi Leonard. We saw it late in the game where he was getting blocks, steals, and then coming down the other end and just dominating the paint. Y'all with this point guard talk, you can just pause. He can be a point center, point forward. He's going to be a point something, but he ain't no point guard. No, he ain't. With that much weight to throw around, he should habitate in the lane. And a guard habitates outside the three-point line. So if you want to point Scotty, that's fine. But it ain't a point guard. It's a point forward. Yeah, and maybe even a point center, like the big Serbian man coming to see us tomorrow night at the Scotiabank Arena. So yeah, I'm real proud of you, Scott. You are my number 1 star of the game last night. In fact, I'm saying this. If he plays a couple more games like this very soon, he is going to be an all-star for sure. The NBA rewards this kind of incredible brilliance. He had a stat line last night that no Raptor has ever had in the history of our franchise. Never, ever. In fact, the last person that did the stat line that he did last night was Mr. Anacomto himself. So yeah, there's a lot of bright future Raptors fans. So don't listen to Chicken Littles. Don't listen to naysayers. Don't listen to negative ninnies. I may have sounded a little bit like one this morning. That's because I was disappointed in how unprofessional the professional basketball team that lives in my city was last night. Everybody's perspective, this writing about the Raptors, everybody on Twitter, everybody everywhere that has opinions. Y'all realize, once again, that we're on the schedule of Scotty. And we win and we lose with Scotty. And last night we won with Scotty. And that's the direction we're going. We see now that Scotty can beat a half-assed Charlotte team and carry us and do that. That's baby steps. That's the beginning. Yeah, he can't do that to Boston yet. He can't do that to Philly yet. Maybe he could on Friday. I don't know. We can find out on Friday. Maybe he can do it on Friday in Wells Fargo Arena. I don't know. But I'm just saying, you can see that we're going to win and lose with Scott. And it's going to be whether he steps up and does a little bit of what he did last night on a regular basis. I think that more and more evidence was shown that the second star of the game for me, Mr. leading scorer last night, Mr. Siakam, fits perfectly with Irvin Magic Barnes. Mr. Pascal Worthy looks real good out there as far as on breaks, as far as sharing the ball, as far as looking for each other, as far as just fitting like puzzle pieces in a puzzle. It is very clear to me at this point that Siakam is not the one that needs to leave this team. That the way he is paired with Barnes is fruitful and fortuitous for good things in the future. Now, the other person that I've talked about this week, once again, he did a disappearing act and he half-ass showed up. Yeah, he did. I watched him very closely last night. The man was not trying last night. The man was disengaged. They showed Trevor posted a picture of him smiling after in the game. Yeah, that was a bullshit smile. That dude is not trying. He is not trying. He's checked out. Let's trade him, Bobby. Let's trade him. Trade him on out. Number 3's got to go at this point because all he does is clog up space. He's clumsy. He's slow. He's lazy on defense at this point. And I'm sick of it. I was like, Darko, don't even put him back in at the end of the game. Ride with Gary, sure. Bench Yak and bench OG. I don't care if he's one of the best defensive players in the year. We don't need him for the Hornets. And if he's not going to put out that defense right, we'll put monster-ass Jam Precious Achua in there. Put Chris Boucher, slinky ass, who will get the ball from Scotty in all kinds of ways. You know that the way that him and Scott connect is amazing. You know, there's a natural connection between Boucher and Scott that's very nice. Yeah, I don't know. We love OG. OG's fantastic. OG has an amazing career in Toronto. I have no problem with OG's career, but I think it's about to be over. Yeah, I think it's about to be over. I think that if Masai and Bobby are a good front office, they can see what I can see. If they can't see what I can't see, then maybe they aren't. But this guy is checking out, man. And I don't know why. I don't know exactly why. You know, maybe he doesn't feel like we're serious enough, so he doesn't have to be serious enough. I don't know why you're not serious right now at this point, OG. I know that you work real hard, and you have worked hard, very hard over the years. You take a physical tax in the things that you do on the court because you take a lot of physicality. But still, man, once again, I'll say this. The people that fucking dog it and don't try, they look bad themselves. You don't make the team look bad. You look bad yourself when you do this. You really do. Ask Vince Carter. Ask Vince Carter, OG. That's what I would say. All right, let me get in the chat with y'all. And I do still want to try and be done by noon. We've got a 9:05 game today at 6:30 in Orlando. All the games this week are in Orlando in the Showcase Cup. I would give you referees, but they haven't given any referees for this game. They're just blanketly having all the referees there with all the teams, and they're just shuffling them around. So I can't tell you which refs are going to be refereeing the Raptors 905 versus the Sioux Falls Skyforce at 6:30 tonight in Orlando. That game will be on YouTube, I'm pretty sure. So please catch it. Marquise Noel, Kevin O'Banner, Jonte Porter. No Grady Dick down there. He's with the big club and staying in Toronto. We saw him last night there. So yeah, we'll check out the 905 playing the Sioux Falls Skyforce and Justin Champagny at 6:30 tonight. That's a game tonight. So yeah, there is a game today. All right, let's see. Trevor J's in first. Good morning, Raptors family. Happy Tuesday after a win. Love the man game between Scotty and Pascal. Darko shouldn't run the offense. Shouldn't run the offense through those guys. That's a little confusing, Trevor. That's a little confusing. Are you saying they shouldn't run the offense through Scotty and Pascal? I don't know, man. You got to spell check or just like edit because it's a confusing message. You're saying we love the two-man game. That's what you wrote too as TO. Oh, I'm totally with you. I said this already, Trevor. I'm with you on this. The two-man game with Pascal and Scotty is the way to go to keep Siakam on this team now. And Trevor's saying, shout out to Gary. Not shut out to Gary. No, we don't want to shut out Gary. We want more of what happened last night. In fact, I'm so glad he finally showed up. Seriously, Gary, what the fuck, man? Finally, you showed up. Oh, my God, thank you. Thank you for showing up finally. And all the people are saying, now he needs to start. Bullshit. He does not need to start still, Raptors fans. He needs to just play like he did last night every night is what he needs to do. He doesn't need to start to do what he did last night. And we need him off the bench. Trust me. Y'all are crazy when you keep saying that. Gary should start. That's all I saw on Twitter last night. All these casuals, all these idiots coming in. Gary should start. No, he should not. He's our sixth man. He's our scoring off the bench. He's doing fine off the bench. And I'm so sick of the Gary should start bullshit that's going on. The man got his first double-double off the bench. Did he ever get a double-double scoring off the starter lineup? No, he didn't. The man had never, ever gotten a double-double as a starter. He got his first double-double off the bench. Does it matter whether he starts or not? No, it doesn't. Because the whole time this season, he could have played like this at any given game. As soon as he hits his first couple shots, Darko said, I'm going to play Gary more this time. And then, boom, he gets starter minutes and he gets the most shot attempts out of the whole entire Raptor team last night. He shot the most shots because he was encouraged, because he was making them. If he misses his first 3 or 4 shots, no, don't go to Gary as much anymore because he's failing. It's that simple, Raptors fans. I wish I would just understand that. This has been up to Gary this whole time. And maybe it took Senior coming and sitting in the stands to say, that's my boy. And yeah, he's watching. Senior's watching you, Junior. So you need to get it going. People are saying, oh, did you do well because with the rebounding, your double-double because your dad was here? Were you manifesting your dad's great Shack of the Mac rebounding energy to go get those boards, Gary, to get your first ever double-double? Maybe. Maybe Trent Sr. does need to be at the game every night so that Trent Jr. gets his ass in gear. Maybe he knows daddy's in the arena and that he's watching, just like when he was a young child learning as a prodigy the game of basketball. Just like dad's there. Dad's calming influence and presence at courtside made it a little more relaxing for Gary Trent Jr. to get in a groove, to hit his shots and get more playing time, get the most field goal attempts, and get the first double-double in his career. Yeah, my third star, Gary Trent Jr. That's right. Yeah. All right, let's see. Trevor's also saying these are words of wisdom, and I'm doing things half-assed, so I'm crazy. Today I'm going to do them with the puppet. That's right. Today's words of wisdom by Trevor J, spoken to us by Justin Bieber.
To achieve what you want most out of life, being focused, working hard, dedicated, but the only person will stop you from achieving your goals is you, Gary Trent Jr. Thank you. And scene.
All right. Thank you, Justin Bieber, for the words of wisdom. That's right, Gary. The only person stopping you is plantar fasciitis in yourself. The plantar fasciitis in your feet is stopping you, and then you're stopping yourself. That's right. It's not Darko stopping him. It's not Dennis stopping him. It's not anybody else on the team stopping him. It's Gary stopping him. And he didn't stop himself last night. So we got a different outcome. All right, let's keep going. Naco the Nacho, Gerald Mayhew, holding it down in the Saga City. Mr. Gerald Mayhew. Yeah. All-Star voting starts today. Woo! Scotty Barnes 2024 campaign. Gary, please keep it up. Yes, and yes. Maybe he got it out of the mud. Maybe we get regular Gary back. You know, we haven't had regular Gary all the season yet. This really is him finally showing up. And I'm all about it. Gary, we'd like you to stay. Please pull up a seat and stay for a while. We'd like to see you continue to do this if you can. We got the Nuggets on Wednesday. You think 21, can you do something for me? That's what I'm saying. Or should I say 33, can you do something for me? Can you do something for me, 33? Can you do something for me? Can you stick around? Stay a little while and do some more. Please, sir. Please, sir. Please, sir. May I have some more? More? Yes, we want more. That's right. Y'all vote for Scotty for All-Star. Vote for him doubly on double days. Double days. Vote days for Scotty. Canada, Scotty lovers, just like meat lovers at Pizza Hut. Love him and vote for him constantly. Go get some K-pop stars to endorse him. And then boom, Andrew Wiggins starting lineup. Boom. That's all it takes. Raptors fans that you really love Scotty, go and solicit some K-pop stars to endorse Scotty Barnes for All-Star, and he will be a shoo-in. This is like get the Swifties involved. Get Taylor Swift involved. Boom, Scotty Barnes All-Star. I think he's going to be an All-Star anyway because his play is definitely good enough. And is his popularity good enough to get voted in the starting lineup, just like VC, number 15. Yeah, that Vinsanity got caught all over the NBA around 2000. And woo, Vince could not be denied starting in the starting lineup. In fact, he couldn't be denied so much that he started over Michael Jordan. But he said, no, that ain't right, bro. You get the start, Michael, because I honor you as a fellow Tar Heel and somebody that I've looked up to my whole life. You get to start in my place, Michael Jordan. But I did get voted in over you, just so you know. Vince Carter did. Yes, he did. That's what I want to see. I think that Scotty Barnes can get all-star voting in a similar vein to Mr. 20, Mr. 15, Mr. Air Canada. Yeah, I think he can. I think he can. We'll have to see if this is true. Y'all get out there and vote for him. All right, superfan Monique Lawrence heading to the arena last night with the vibes, the festive vibes. I seen a beautiful picture of Monique at the game last night with a big Christmas tree behind her, looking so Christmassy and festive. I love you, Monique, and I'm so glad that you had a fantastic time at the game last night and you helped get us that W. Oh my gosh, Monique, your presence is necessary in that building. I know it is, and thank you for making the way down to the arena for the game last night. Thank you, superfan Monique Lawrence. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Mo's saying we need Gary Sr. in the arena more often for Gary Jr. to shoot better. Good morning, Rapid Freak family. I agree with this, Monique. I totally agree with this. I love Gary Trent Sr. He's a badass. He's a tough guy. We had Dwayne Casey in the arena last night. That was weird, y'all. I was like, what the hell is Casey doing here? I saw the Raptors shit in the bed in the first half, and I'm like, man, these guys really suck. But at least we're not Detroit. And then, boom, they show Detroit's consultant, Dwayne Casey, former Raptors Coach of the Year, one of the greatest Raptors coaches of all time. In fact, I will toot the horn of Dwayne Casey high on the mountaintop every day because of how important he is to our franchise. People forget about him because of Nick Nurse this, Nick Nurse that, Nick Nurse this. They do not realize how important Dwayne Casey was to getting our championship and building our team up to get to that point. It was weird. He's in the crowd. I'm like, why is he watching us? We don't play Detroit for like 10 days. He's not doing scouting. What is this? Could it be that Detroit is so bad that he just needs to come and see how bad the Raptors are to feel better for himself? No, he's not hating on us. In fact, they interviewed him and he gave so much praise to Bobby and Masai. He's like, Masai Ujiri has done such a good job with his organization. This organization is so good and all this stuff. And it was like, damn, you would think this man did not get fired by us and given a raw deal like it happened 5 years ago. The way he talked about our franchise, I was like, damn, wait a second. And wait, he's not GM of the Pistons? I thought he was a GM. I thought he was in the front office. No, he's a consultant. Well, can we consult him about coming back to work for us, please? Because it seems like he's real warm and fuzzy with the Raptors organization. And it seemed like he had a lot of positive things to say about Masai, where he does not have an axe to grind or a grudge towards him. You know, where we are with our team right now is very much similar to where it was when we hired Dwayne as our coach way back. It really is. In some ways, Dwayne Casey is an amazing development coach. He's an amazing motivator. He's amazing, all this stuff. I don't want to replace Darko. Don't get me wrong. And it may be that Casey's older now and he does not want to be on the road. And that may be why he stepped down as head coach of the Pistons at the end of the year last year. But I'd like to reach out to him and see if there's any kind of capacity that maybe we could outbid Monty Williams and the Detroit Pistons and get him back in the fold in the Raptors organization. Why not? It wouldn't hurt. If he can bring his rock down to the arena, I would love to see that big-ass rock come back to the Raptors. Seriously, pound the rock. Pound the rock. Let's do it. Let's get Dwayne and his rock back down there. I'm telling you, Dwayne, the Rock, Casey. Let's bring him back down here, jabroni. That's right. Just bring it. Just bring it. Bring the rock. That's right. I don't know why we can't do this. Can we do this? Can we outbid Monty Williams? Say, hey, we want your guy. Yeah, we're bringing him back to Toronto. He loves it here, obviously. He's so happy. He's just here on a off night. He's watching the Hornets and the Raptors, for Pete's sake. He must really want to be here. Come on now. Can we get Casey back? That's what I'm wondering. He's consulting them. Well, can he consult us? Can we consult you on Scotty, please, Dwayne? Can we consult you on Grady Dick? Can we consult you on what the fuck is wrong with Malachi Flynn still? Please, please. Because I think that would be very smart to see if we can get Dwayne Casey back in the fold. I'd love it. Honestly, it'd feel real good. It'd feel like healing. It'd feel like, well, evil psycho genius, Nick Nurse is gone. I think Dwayne might come back now. Seriously. It's like, Nick and him, but, Nick's gone. And it sounds like Dwayne never had a problem with Ujiri. Never, ever had a problem with Ujiri. Very interesting appearance by a former coach of the Raptors, Dwayne Casey, at the game last night. Chris is here. MSJ, thank you, Mug Brother, we're coming on in. As you can see, I'm a little unprofessional today. I'm a little off. I'm a little wild. Yeah, yeah, a little wild. Yeah, just a little. Let's see what he's saying. Glad to have a coffee over the wind. I'll have a water with you. How about that? Man, that was a crazy one. But Barnes and Pascal held it down. Barnes at time was like a pit bull in the paint. You know what? He just wanted it so bad. And you see his athleticism with that want together is nasty. This man can do whatever he wants. There was a certain section in the fourth quarter where he did everything on the court like a superstar at both ends, and he was willing us to win. He's like, no, not tonight. I don't want to feel these L vibes at the end of the night. No, we can't do this to half the Hornets. No, we got to do something to stop the nightmare, Scott. Stop the nightmare is what I was pleading to him. Stop the nightmare, Scott. Please, please stop the nightmare. The nightmare of losing to half the fucking Hornets team. The bullshit. Please, Scott. And he did. He did. His stat line looked badass. Honestly, Scotty, 7 for 14 from the field. He hit it 1 of 2 threes. 7 for 7 at the free throw line. Yes, Scott. Yes, 7 of 7 at the free throw line. Yes. That's in some ways something I'm celebrating the most. But the 17 rebounds, oh my gosh, he got 5 offensive, 12 defensive. And at some point in the beginning of the game, they weren't rebounding. It was so stupid. It was kind of like the Atlanta Hawks game on Friday where they're just standing around and the Hornets are collecting all the rebounds in the first half. Well, they did something about it at halftime. They came back and they really dedicated themselves to getting on the boards. And apparently it was Scotty and Gary that were getting on the boards. I wouldn't have said Gary. Oh my gosh, 10 rebounds for Gary. That's amazing. But yeah, Scotty, 7 assists, 3 blocks, very emphatic blocks. In fact, they're holding down Scott on the blocks leaders list for the NBA by giving him goaltends. Those calls were 50-50. The first goaltend was so 50-50. It could have been either way. Rodney Mott, you could have called it either way, man. And whatever this Skyhawk system y'all are using to tell the positioning of the ball with GPS or lasers or whatever the fuck y'all are doing with that. Yeah, that thing I don't believe that shit either. You could be as pinpoint as fuck with that machine and saying this is it and these are the results. And I wouldn't trust y'all still because you interpret stats and results any which way you want to, NBA refs. You can justify whatever. That's why you make these rules. That's why all these stupid offensive fouls that go back and forth. We saw some sections in the game where there were like there'll be a call at one end and then they do the same exact call at the other end. It's the makeup calls. They do this all the time. They want to make the refs look like they're not unfair to either side. So they'll do a shitty, unfair thing to one side, and they'll do it immediately to the other side. And they say, look, we're unfair to both of y'all. It's a fair game. It's a way of building the illusion that the referees are not manipulating the game and that they're very fair about it. You know, I told y'all with the ref report yesterday, if we work hard and we do things right, Rodney Mott will reward us. And he did. It was a story arc. We came out in a really bad place, really, really acting, playing horrible, shitty game. And Rodney saw that. They're like, wow, the Raptors are really, and he his whistle kind of like was like, fuck y'all. Y'all aren't even trying. So why should I do anything to help you? Well, he saw the character story of the arc of the story, where it's like they're down and out. They're in a place that looks bad. They're about to lose to half the Hornets. And somebody stepped up and did something about it. And when these people start working harder in the second half, Rodney's like, well, Raptors do have something in them. They are trying to play better. Look at this. Look at this improvement. Look at this great effort by this young man, Scott Barnes. Well, let's reward him. And that's what I'm saying. That's all Rodney Mott or Tony Brothers ever needs. They're not mean refs. They're 30-year refs that care about hard work and guys doing things right. And near the end, the calls got better for the Raptors because the Raptors were working harder. And that's all they needed to do. In some ways, they did so shitty in the beginning. They had a nice stark contrast between it. So Rodney could actually see like, oh, they've made a lot of progress just in this game. Look at how lazy they were in the first half. And now look at them, how they're playing in the second half. Oh, I'm so proud. I'm going to give them some calls. You know, it's that kind of shit that refs really do kind of like help you with. If you're making that effort and you're playing right, they will help you. Seriously. And in this game, they don't have any like loyalty to the Hornets over us. There's no NBA office saying y'all need to make the Hornets win. So it's a really like equal playing field. Well, you see how effort can get the balance in the favor of the refs. It was awesome. I love it so much. I love it so much. Yes. Cowboys here. Good morning, Lex. Bam and Raptor Freaks. Let's go. Who got the chain? Why do you even need to ask, Cowboy? Who do you think got the chain? Who do you think got the chain? They didn't even show it. They didn't put it on a blast or anything. It could be that they did it privately this time. It could be that they didn't even do it. Maybe Darko's like, y'all have been so shitty. I'm throwing the chain in the river. You're not getting the chain anymore this year. This has been so bad recently, and I'm embarrassed with y'all. Maybe he got rid of the chain. I don't know. I didn't see any pictures of it. Dennis didn't post somebody getting the chain in the locker room. Maybe they're putting that all on privacy now. Maybe they're going to two new levels of secrecy because of, things being all jerky, people finding out about the dinner reward and making fun of it. Well, you don't get to see our rewards after the game anymore. Let's just know that Scotty got the chain last night. Let's just know that Scotty got the chain last night. That's right. Beam me up, Scotty. Beam me up, Scotty. Mr. Scott, energize. Yeah, that's right. Cowboys got Mo on blast this morning. That's right. Monique, the super fan. Lawrence, the greatest. That's right. My second star of the game is Pascal Siakam. Siakam was the leading scorer. This is the thing. Scotty was the best player in the game, but he didn't have to be the leading scorer. And this is the thing I love about this. The symbiosis of Scotty Barnes and Pascal Siakam is that, Siakam's such a great target. 27 points on 11-16 shooting, 5 of 6 at the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, a +2. Pascal was dishing it just like Scotty was. Between the two of them, 15 assists, 8 from Pascal and 7 from Scotty. What a dynamic duo. What a dynamic duo. I love it. They are like Batman and Robin. I'm not going to even pick who's Batman and who's Robin. Maybe it's Batman and Nightwing. I don't know. But I'm just saying these guys are for real pairing. They're badasses and they need to stay together. They really do. I love that Siakam was the leading scorer. And he was, you know what? This is the other thing. As much as Scott said enough, and he said, my energy is going to pull us out of this. If nobody else is going to do stuff, I'm going to be the leader and I'm going to show everybody my energy is going to pull us out of this. Siakam jumped in and said, my superstar energy is going to take over. And I'm going to do certain things in the second half to help us carry. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna call for the shot. Y'all are gonna find me, and I'm gonna go take my shots, and I'm gonna make them. And he did. He did. You go, Siakam. I love you, man. And seriously, we need to keep going with these two guys. These are the two guys that the Raptors' future should be all about. Siakam and Barnes. It sounds just like that cheesy Buffalo law firm across the border. Chelino and Barnes. Siakam and Barnes. Call them and get them on my team going forward, Bobby and Masai. Extend Siakam. Is what I'm saying right now. Extend him. Oh my gosh. My third star of the game is Gary Trent Jr. with his first double-double of his career ever. Off the bench, y'all. He did it off the bench. And he was 35 minutes. That's right. He didn't get the most minutes on the court, but he got the third most minutes on the court after Scotty and Pascal. 9 for 17. He got one more shot than Siakam. 4 of 10 from 3. 10 rebounds, all defensive. 3 assists, 1 steal, +25. The highest plus minus on this team was Gary Trent Jr., y'all. 22 points. Wow. I was talking to Jordan Bolton after the game. He's on Twitter, and I sent him a message. I said, look, I love what your Relly did last night. I think that if he can do this every night for us, that'd be fantastic. He's like, yeah. And I said, look, it's a really nice combo when Scotty gets in that lane, and he has Gary to kick it out to. Sometimes we see that play, and I'm like, Gary will make that. Because he gets a rhythm off of a kick out. He is a rhythm shooter. And in some ways, he's just had an off rhythm this year. And we got to get him back in his rhythm more regularly and consistently. But that's a deadly, nasty thing when Scott gets all the attention in the lane and he's got Gary somewhere on the outside he can go find and just drop it to him for an easy 3, open 3. Yeah. Gary, you just have to make them. You've been missing open shots all season. Now you made them last night. This is the difference. That's the only difference between anything that's happened this year, Raptors fans, is Gary finally made his shot. That's the only thing that's different. There's nothing else that's different. Nothing to do with Dennis, nothing to do with starting, nothing to do with anything. It's just that Gary finally made his shot. And maybe it's because Senior was there. I don't know. Could be. My fourth star of the game for last night is Precious. Precious had the best dunk of the whole entire year. Last night, yeah, that dunk was amazing. It looked like Tom Chambers' old dunk in Bulls versus Suns in like the Sega Genesis era. They had this one game that came out one year for Sega Genesis. It was like Bulls versus Lakers. They had all the series for all the finals each year. They put them in the game. And there was one game where Tom Chambers had this crazy ass dunk he could do from the 3-point line, jump from the 3-point line, and then just monster jump. That's what Precious did last night. That dunk was that dunk that Tom Chambers did in that old video game on Sega Genesis. And it was funny because Chris got messed up in that play. Like they blocked him and he fell to the ground. And Precious was like, nah, I ain't having it. And he went and grabbed that ball. And he came with such a force and an energy that, like, seriously, I know that most people don't like getting posterized. I know that most people don't like getting in the way of LeBron James when he comes through the lane. And he was coming with such a force and an energy that he would have maybe murdered someone if they were in his way. It was insane. In fact, he's got it on his Twitter. It's hilarious. He's wrote, small predator way I say, make I take hold body. I know no, say na fake, is what he wrote about that. And he posted it. He's so proud of that dunk, and he should be. Honestly, incoming is right. Oh my gosh, Precious Achiuwa. Oh my gosh. There was a lot of stuff with Precious and Scotty last night, once again, that really fit. There was a whole time where Scott was trying to do stuff in the lane and he put up a shot and it was a good high percentage shot, but it didn't go in exactly. Well, who had his back? Who was on the boards and getting an offensive board right behind him and putting it back in, getting his back? Achiuwa. Yeah. I like the way that they kind of work with each other. I know the Mount Verde history of Achiuwa and Barnes has linked them, and they have a lot more close connection than people realize because they have a similar story of where they came from with high school. And the other thing is about them on the download, they know that they're both super, super, super talented. And in some ways, they're a little bit of competitive between each other because they are, in some ways, Precious isn't going to be on the level of Scott is. Maybe he could be, though. I don't know. That's why I really love and value Precious Achiuwa. He's amazing. And the athleticism and the defense and the stuff that he does on the court is to be valued on this team and kept around. Trust me. Because in some ways, Scotty's having a 3rd-year leap right now. Precious is in his 4th year, but he could have a 5th-year leap. Let's just put it that way. Precious Achiuwa could have a 5th-year leap that is nasty and crazy because he has all the skills in the world to do it. He really does. Really, really does. I thought he was awesome. 5 of 9 from the field, 2 of 4 at the free throw line. That was horrible. Those 2 missed free throws really pissed me off, Precious. But hey, I'll forgive you. 5 offensive rebounds helps me to forgive you. 7 rebounds altogether, 1 steal, 1 assist, a plus 12 with 12 points. Precious, you're a badass. And thank you for the energy. Thank you for the dunk. And thank you for the good, like switching around with Scotty. Really, the stuff they were doing inside, they were really not getting each other's way. And they're really kind of jumping in and doing the right thing. I really like that. My 3rd star of the game is going to surprise people. It's actually Dennis. Dennis was really on down low, really, really good last night. He played really, really good. He picked his spots. And, right from the start of the game, the first play was him going right down the lane, and he had a layup, and he had it right there. But he's in his head. Y'all messed him up, the not be feeling like he's allowed to score. So he's like right at the cup, and he throws it over the corner to OG, and it's a turnover. Or a fuck up after that. I'm like, man, that's not the way you start. Dude, I don't care if they're saying you're selfish. If you get that close to the cup right off the bat in the beginning of the game, open the game up with a score, a successful score. Because in some ways, your failure of doing that really hurt us. In some ways, you being unselfish is selfish in some ways. So I wish that people would get off Dennis and just allow him to shoot and play the way he's supposed to with no second guessing. In some ways, he is counting whether he passes or shoots more. And in some ways, we can't have him playing that way. We have to have him playing unconscious because you see in stretches of game, Dennis will get us baskets when things are kind of lagging, when our defense may be getting a little stagnant. Well, he's a little stir up the cup and he will go and he'll get like a little mid-range pop or he'll get to the basket and try and lay it up. Nobody should be mad about Dennis trying to score. Nobody should be discouraging from Dennis from trying to score. We need Dennis to be just as aggressive and confident as the rest of the guys because the way he played at the beginning of the season was really good. And he fell off in the last month or so. And y'all have just been beating the shit out of him on social media, and that's not fair. The man is a good player. The man is doing amazing things for us, and he's my 5th star of the game last night. Seriously. 4 for 6 from the field. 3 of 5 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 5 assists, plus 12 with 13 points. Dennis Schroeder is my 5th star. Those are my 5 stars of the game. And honestly, I think that people that really want Gary to start don't realize that that's not the right idea of things. We can get Gary in till the end of the game. This man can play starters minutes over the whole course of the game. Jakob did not have a good game last night. He was getting beat down the court by Nick Richards. He was not playing very well. He had an off night, and that's fine. Everybody should be allowed to have an off night sometimes. And in some ways, this game was not conducive for Jakob to be as useful as normal, like Wednesday will be. Oh, yeah, Wednesday's going to be very conducive for him to be out there with Jokic running around. So in some ways, it's a matchup thing that kind of made Jakob a dud for last night. And that opened up a lot more minutes and stuff for Gary to be out there a lot of time. And I have no problem with that. If Dennis is not playing very well and his shot's not going in and he's not really clicking, just like Jakob was last night, I have no problem with them getting benched in the second half. Either one of them, for Gary Trent to play most of the second half and close this out. In some ways, we want Gary to come in out the bench because we need that offensive pick-me-up off the bench. That's what he did for us last year under Nick. And that's what he should have been doing this whole time for this season also, not just last night. So seriously, it works so much better with him off the bench. I wish y'all would shut the fuck up about start Gary, because in some ways, I know y'all are going to be whiny when he doesn't do it. He's not going to, by the way. I'll bet you money. He's not going to switch the starting lineup. As much as y'all whine on social media, he's not going to switch the starting lineup. And y'all are going to whine and complain about it. And then you'll turn on Darko just because he didn't do what you wanted. What are you, a little baby screaming out for a breast? Like, wah, give me the toy, mommy. Give me the toy, mommy. Start Gary, mommy. Start Gary, mommy. Well, mommy's saying no. No, I'm the adult. You're the little kid. And I make the rules, and you're not getting to start Gary. I'm sorry. No, mommy, no. Is that what y'all are going to do? Little temper tantrum, just like the little kid that lives upstairs from me? You're just going to have a little temper tantrum because they don't start Gary? Oh, you poor little babies. Oh, because that's probably what's going to happen. That's probably what's going to happen. I hate to bring it to you. He's going to be great off the bench. If he wakes up and he continues to play with this level of excellence, it won't matter if he's starting or not. It really won't. It really, really won't. He's proven this. He's proven this in the past that he can do this off the bench or starting. It doesn't matter. And that's the thing. Darko's not going to cave to y'all just because you're saying this, and then y'all will get upset. It's not right. Y'all do not need to act like toddlers, is what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to say. Y'all don't need to act like toddlers. Let the coach do what he's doing with the team. It's important. And in some ways, once again, yes, you can call it like, oh, he's too much friends with Dennis, or oh, he's Dennis' teacher pet, or any bullshit. No, it's because Dennis has the longest working relationship with Darko. They know each other better. He trusts Dennis the most, probably out of all the Raptors. And in some ways, when you're starting a new system and you need people that you trust on the court, you put them on the court. And that's really a big part of it. Dennis is helping facilitate the transition to Darko's system easier because he understands it better and he can help the other guys. Fuck what David Thorpe said. Fuck any of this bullshit other people that are saying other things. Let Darko run his ship the way he wants to, because ultimately he knows what his ultimate vision is better than we know. And he's building towards something, and you don't know exactly what he's trying to do. So let him do what he's supposed to do. He's the coach. He's in charge, not all y'all. And if he doesn't start Gary, don't act like a toddler, please. Don't be in the mall at Yorkdale kicking in on the floor. I wanted that, mommy. It's what y'all fucking will be if y'all don't get what you want. Little toddlers screaming and crying on the floor in the Yorkdale Mall. That's right. That's right. You know, there's a lot of them down at the Yorkdale Mall right now. Yeah, it's Christmas season. Lots of shopping. All right, let's keep going. I know I'm really going off today. It's crazy. All right, yeah, I know there's going to be a lot of comments, and I'm kind of all over the place right now, but I'm unprofessional today, just like the Raptors, at least for the first half of the stream. A little unprofessional. Let's see. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam. Happy Tuesday. Apologies for those who attended the game yesterday. Their team only showed up in the fourth quarter. Flashbacks of attending a Lauryn Hill show. Laugh out loud. Hilarious. Hilarious. Fiercely. That's awesome. Lauryn Hill. That thing. That's all we want is that thing. That guys, they only are one thing about. It's the W the Raptors have to be all about. That's right. That thing. Yeah, you you guys like my little parody songs. Yeah. I went to the Weird Al school of writing songs. That's right. That's right. Apologies for the garbage basketball coach, Casey. Yeah, we need you to come back and teach them, develop them back, please. Can you come back and develop a little bit, please? We love you. It's not that Darko's not bad. We just want more people in there to help. And bring your rock too. Pound the rock. That's what I'm about. Cowboy saying Scotty is an all-star. No ifs, ands, or buts. I agree with you, Cowboy. And I'm sure that this will come to fruition. The NBA's smart. This guy's a star. They're going to put him in the All-Star game. Watch, he will be there. Fiercely saying the gag is that she's always late to her shows. That's like Axl Rose. Axl Rose is always late too. That's pretty good. I like that. That's pretty good. All right, let me see. All right, I lost my place. I'm going to come back and get it. All right, let's see. Fiercely saying, great word today, Trevor. Yeah, great words of wisdom. I like that. And especially delivered by the Beaver. That was great. Bryce Lawson's here from Kentucky. The K-Tuck is in the house. Bryce Lawson, good morning. Good morning, Raptor Freaks. I hope you all have a blessed day. And same back at you, Bryce. Hey, we won yesterday. What's not to like? Well, did you see the first quarter, Lex? Did you see how depressing that was? I was telling everybody in the Facebook chat, I was like, even if we win this game's not a win. This is not a win. And like, I'm glad we won by 15 by the end of it. But in a lot of ways, this was not a win. I'm glad we got a W on a record, but in a lot of ways, it doesn't feel good. Fiercely saying, I hope Gary got the chain. I think he could have. He might have, but I don't know who got it. I can't tell you if he got it or Scotty. I'm pretty sure Scotty got it. Because honestly, some of the stuff that Scotty did, maybe Darko did give Gary the chain just to kind of help him feel better. You know what? It could be Gary. I don't know. I have no confirmation. They did not broadcast who got the chain last night. Nobody posted nothing on social media about it. Maybe Darko's like, y'all played shitty. You're not getting the chain tonight. It could be. I mean, in some ways, he could be like that. He'd be like, y'all, listen, we have nothing to be proud about tonight. We won, but we really, if we play this way against any other professional team in the NBA, we're blown out by 40. It's just that the Hornets couldn't score, and they're inept themselves. We were treading water and spinning our wheels and making mistakes left and right, and we're just lucky we're playing the Hornets last night. Seriously. We're playing any other NBA team. They're blowing us out by 30 last night. Let's just put it that way. Most of the other teams would have done that. Seriously. It's crazy. Let's see. Cowboys saying, yeah, I hope so too. Fiercely. Good morning. Yeah, I don't know if it's Scotty or him. Those are the likely candidates, either Scotty or Gary. Bryce is saying, after seeing Kenny Lofton get cut, it's time to pace. I think we should get Kenny for our G League team. Maybe let him and Porter battle for that spot. I'd be awesome if they just cut Javon Freeman Liberty and they added Kenny Lofton Jr. I would be fine with that. I'd have no problem with that. That's the only way I would do that. I don't care about Freeman Liberty. I really don't. It's ever since he said, I'm happy to be here for while I can, and I'm just trying to make myself as good as I am while I'm here. Yeah, in some ways, people are turned off by that statement. And he's been hurt anyway for like the last month or so, and really not contributing. In fact, he was sitting on the bench in street clothes in Toronto. He's not in Orlando at the Winter Showcase with the rest of the G League. So I don't know. I mean, is anybody jumped on getting Kenny Lofton Jr. yet? Is he cleared waivers? In some ways, it's just like our fantasy basketball league. The player comes free, and it's whoever gets a priority in the waiver list that may get the first chance to sign him. And I don't know where the Raptors are on that waiver priority list. So, I mean, I would be all about this. I've seen that rotund man and how good he works and moves around, just like young Charles Barkley right now. Yeah, Kenny Lofton Jr. is not related to Kenny Lofton of the Atlanta Braves center fielder. No, he's related to Kenny Lofton Sr. mailman. And honestly, in some ways, his body is built like Karl Malone, the mailman. And he's got some very interesting skills. So I would be not upset if Kenny Lofton Jr. was on 905 all of a sudden, but it's going to take Javon Freeman Liberty getting cut is what it's going to take. Trevor's saying, shout out to the referees for being nice to us last night. And thanks for putting Terry in foul trouble. Loving it. You know what? Actually, a little light bulb went off in Scotty's head last night. They did something funny to him last night. They called him with a charge. In fact, it was one of the rookies. It was either Brandon Miller is really good at taking charges, what we found out. Brandon Miller's interesting. He did a whole interview in the middle of the day with Grady Dick. Grady Dick has a new show that debuted yesterday, and he's talking to rookies around the league. And he had his first guest last night, number 2 pick, Brandon Miller of the Hornets. and they talk cars and sports. What's your favorite sports team? Brandon Miller doesn't have a favorite NFL team, but he's like, he's just talking about his cars, a peanut butter and jelly, because it's a peanut butter interior and purple on the outside. They're just having rookie talk, and it's kind of cool. It's just like shooting the shit. Well, Miller's a very advanced young player. In fact, he's one of the best players in this draft. I really like him. Besides all the baggage from Alabama with that horrible murder this year, he's fantastic. And he was taking those charges. You saw it in the game. He took a charge on Scott. And Scott was so mad because it's like he passed it off and he didn't have the ball anymore, but he just ran. And Brandon was smart and took a charge. And Scott's like, what the hell? So what did Scotty do? He went to the other end and took a charge himself almost on the next play to test if the referees would call it for him. And they did. But the byproduct of that was he got Terry Rozier in foul trouble. In some ways, this is how the wheels click in the head. And they're like, wow, wait a second. I just got Terry Rozier in foul trouble. And Steve Clifford had to take him out of the game because I drew this charge on him. Wheels are turning, Scotty. Hello. This is something you could utilize more often in games. Pinpoint players that are a problem on the other side and get them in foul trouble, Scotty. This is a cerebral game. So why not take a charge from scary Terry Rozier? He's much smaller than you. He won't hurt you as bad. And yeah, get him in foul trouble. Get him out of the game. It was so cool to see Scott go do this dueling take charge thing with Brandon Miller. He took one right after him, and the refs called it. And Scotty's like, light bulb. Interesting. I like this. Yeah, these are things you're going to figure out, Scott, the more and more you play. There's all kinds of interesting stuff you can do. Yeah, Fiercely saying, it was like watching zombies in the first three quarters. I don't know what got into them mid-third, but glad they woke up. Scotty and Pascal did not want to lose. They held it down. Yeah, Scotty don't want to lose. No, he doesn't. And they're going to do whatever it takes to try and win at this point. And honestly, I'm so proud of them. I'm proud of Scott, seriously, because seriously, this is a test for him. You see how everybody quits, everybody else quit on the team and stop playing well. Well, he amped it up and he went even more in the other direction. And that says a lot about his character. And in some ways, man, what a great test to pass in my eyes. As far as like he gave a shit. He really did. Even when everybody else was maybe not giving a shit to a degree, Scotty did give a shit. And his leadership led them back to giving a shit enough to come back and win. And that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Cowboys saying, I like Lofton, Bryce. I agree. And Bryce is saying, Scotty and Pascal proving they can coexist and adapt to both you guys. Yeah. I think that it's very apparent. I mean, some of this stuff is really beautiful when they get on the in the fast break. They really do play off each other right. And there's such threats, both of them. And they can do either one. I love the dish that Scotty had to Pascal, and he finished in the layup on the fast break. It really was like Irvin and James Worthy. It really, really is kind of like that kind of vibe of like Irvin Magic Johnson passing it to big Showtime James Worthy. Yeah. I like that. Let's see. Fiercely saying, fam, Lofton is nice, which makes me wonder why he was cut. Well, because Grizzlies are like the Thunder. They have an overglut of young players. They have too many good players, too many draft picks in the last few years. They have too many players, and they got to make a tough decision, and they got to cut somebody that normally teams would not want to cut. That's the problem with stockpiling draft picks like the Thunder have. They've had waste where it just kind of goes away, and Lofton is waste from the Memphis Grizzlies. It's not his attitude. I've seen him play. He's a very good, tough-nosed young man. And I don't know what it is. I think it's just that they have a lot of what he is already on the team. And he's just the one that they're kind of like, well, we could probably – he's the extra. And we can cut him. I think that's probably what it is. Monique saying, getting her done, Scotty. Did he ever? Oh, yeah, he did, Monique. Oh, yeah, he did. He did get her done. Get her done. Let's see. Bryce is saying, yeah, I was confused. Honestly, I expected him to get some run with Ja missing this time. Well, it is what it is. I mean, they've got a lot of projects in the Grizzlies, and he just happened to be the one that were like, yeah, we can let him go. In some ways they're cutting their losses. They're trying to figure out, well, who should we keep? And I guess they didn't like him. In some ways, him being a little bit overweight, maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I have no idea why they cut him, but he's out there. And, let's see if somebody gets him and who has a priority to get him. Yeah, I don't know if we have priorities. So let's see. Kareem's here. I'm so excited for Scotty. He's going to be a legit superstar. I love that we get to be a part of his journey The ups and downs, the commercials, the pressers. I love it all. We were witnessing history. The early signs of this, Kareem, were there. The hate for Scott came early, and it's just like the same kind of hate Kobe and LeBron get. The best get the hate. When you start having haters, that means you are a legit somebody that people are afraid of and they worry about. And that's really what it is. And in fact, the Scotty hate's going to intensify as he gets stronger and stronger, just like LeBron hate intensifies. We need to be ready for that. Like, instead of being Braun haters, we're going to be Scotty lovers. And in some ways, we're going to be the ones fighting against his haters and detractors as he rises and gets higher and higher. That's the one thing. Success begets haters. And in some ways, we got to be there with him along this journey. There's going to be a lot of haters of him, but there are going to be a lot of Scotty lovers too. But yeah, that's just how it works. To be great, you're going to have haters. Ask Kobe. Ask LeBron. Yeah. I love it too, man. And listen, this is the thing. We need to protect him at all costs. Scotty loves Toronto. He got up this morning. He saw the snow. He's probably like, wow, that's cool. He's not upset about it. That's the thing. We pay him right. We keep him happy. We keep moving the right direction. We give him what he wants. We let him be the franchise player. He should hopefully stay his whole career, as much of his career. And then we don't need a Giannis sweepstakes because we got Scotty. And Scotty is the same damn thing as winning the Giannis sweepstakes. So there you go. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Masai and Bobby ain't playing. They ain't not playing. And we're getting things done still. It's just y'all got to let the schedule and the things that happen come in the time and be patient. Seriously, we're on Scott's schedule now. And you don't think Scott wants to get Larry O'Brien's? Well, let's get on his very wide shoulders and ride to those Larry O'Brien's with Mr. Wayne Barnes, is what I'm going to say right now. That's what I'm saying. It's going to take some development. It's going to take some time. That's why we need to buy into Darko's vision and allow him to implement it over the years instead of jumping to conclusions after 2 months. Because that man has a long-term goals for Scotty, and Scotty's with him on it, and he's really bought in with it. He likes what he's hearing from Coach Rajakovic about his vision for what Scotty can be in 2 years from now. So that's the thing. Y'all need to let them take this partnership and figure it out and see what kind of levels they can get to. Next season, Darko has said, once again, I'll say this, he's going to be training Scotty to be more like Giannis. Now, does that sound horrible, Toronto Raptors fans, especially since Scotty already shoots better than Giannis from three? Yeah, just imagine. Just imagine. We're going to have our own Kawhi. We didn't need Kawhi to leave. Okay, Kawhi, go on with Uncle Dennis. Go on then. Yeah. Oh, Giannis is not going to – he's going to supermax with the Bucks. He's staying, and we shouldn't have got rid of Ibaka and Gasol. Oh, all right. Well, all right. Oh, we got to go to Tampa and slum for a year. Well, okay. Let's get a little draft luck. Let's get the 4th pick. And let's not listen to ESPN, Jalen Suggs bullshit, and let's draft Scott Barnes. That front office is winning every day. And only casuals do not see the winning of that front office every fucking day. Every day they win. And everybody who says the front office is coasting off the championship 5 years ago, you're stupid ass. Motherfucker, is what I'll say to you. They are winning every day. John T. Porter. Every day they win. Every day they win. And sing their praises and protect and love Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster, Teresa Resch, Dan Tolzman. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Nako's saying Lofton was cut to make room for Ja Morant to come back. Okay. All right, Ja's coming back. He's had his time away. He's talked to Adam Silver. He's gone through therapy. He sees the way he was wrong, and he's going to get better. He's going to be better now. He treated his family poorly, apparently, is what he said too. Chris is saying that Kareem, I feel the same. New era. Yes, a few changes ahead, but it's going to be fun, win or lose. That's right. It's going to be enthusiastically fun. It's going to be exciting. We are going to have somebody like Vince on our team that is going to be an attraction. And that people are going to be like, I want to go see Scotty. In some ways, I think my niece and nephew coming up from Atlanta, going to this game on Saturday, my little nephew, he's looking the most forward to seeing Scotty Barnes. In some ways, I'll bet you that's true because the hype has probably gotten to him too. That's what I'm saying. That we've got a bright future. It's just we've got to find the right people to surround Scotty with. And some of the people that are on our team are not the right people to surround Scotty with. And that's why we need to weed them out and get better people around him. And sure, more shooters is exactly what we need, y'all. Exactly what we need in a lot of different ways, for sure. All right, let's keep going. Cowboys saying this is nothing on Noel, but I think Scotty can and will be the greatest Raptor. He's a different breed. Raptors over everything. Let's go. Hopefully, we start a win streak. I like all that. Yeah, Marquise said he wanted to be the greatest Raptor this summer. I don't know if that's realistic. And Scotty really does have a good chance. Really does. We still know that right now, to me, the greatest Raptor of all time is Kyle Lowry, but it's very close to being Pascal Siakam. Yeah, I think if Siakam gets one more major award, like if he gets another All NBA or an All Star, or if he wins another championship, he's the greatest Raptor of all time. He just is. I mean, people got to recognize how good Siakam has been and the accolades he's been collecting in his career. Most improved, All NBA twice, All Star twice, the NBA champion, G League champion. I mean, this guy's done it all. G League MVP. There's a lot there. Let's see. We got Monique. She's saying, I said contain Terry well, and we even got him in foul trouble, so I'm happy too. Yeah, let me go look at the Hornets just a little bit. I guess I should go look at them. PJ Washington was annoying last night. He was doing big things for them for a bit. Brandon Miller, a great young rookie. Once again, I like what he's doing. Nick Richards, a double-double, 4 for 5, 10 rebounds, 10 points. He was a little bit of a pain. In the first half, when we were getting cooked by McGowan's, I was like, is this what we've gotten to? That Bryce McGowan's is cooking us? And I'm like, what the fuck? Where are we, Raptors? That Bryce McGowan, Ish Smith are cooking us. Where are we right now? Leaky Black is out here tearing us up. What is going on here, Raptors? Holy crap. I was really worried in the first half. Seriously. I was like, we didn't have one of the most humiliating losses in Raptors history if we managed to lose to this particular group of Charlotte Hornets. Seriously, it would go down in the history books from the wrong reasons. The wrong reasons. That's right. Cowboys saying it's a beautiful day. Outside, I was in my flip-flops doing laundry. That's an interesting lyric. Let's see. Cowboys saying Monique is happy, and then I'm happy. That's right. I'm with you on that. Kareem saying Pascal and Scotty is like Batman and Robin. The only confusion them two need to figure out is who's going to be Batman or who Robin every game. I say coin flip, but obviously whoever has the hotter hand. Maybe they're like J. Cole and Drake and first person shooter, and they're both Spider-Man, and they're pointing at each other. Maybe that's what they are instead. Yeah, maybe I put a Drake reference from his video, first person shooter with J. Cole. Maybe that's who they are. Maybe there's a Spider-Man meme. I mean, OG, if you get your shit together, you could be the third Spider-Man in that meme. Come on, OG, get your shit together. And maybe you could be the third Spider-Man and you can all point at each other. I love that. G saying, some of us have been asking to see Scotty play some of the game as a point center, point forward, and it looked great having a point guard and a true shooting guard, Gary, close out the game, better spacing and flow. Yeah, I think they just had their things organized a little bit better. Some of it is hierarchy stuff. It really is, who is the person in charge and who is going to have to touch the ball every single possession. And it should either be Scotty or Pascal. It really should. If one of them's in the game, that's who they should run it through. Absolutely every time. Dennis can be the point guard, bring the ball up the court. Gary can bring the ball up the court. Precious can bring up the ball. Chris can bring the ball up the court sometimes. But it's really when we get into the half court that the pass has to go to Scott. And Scott's standing at the top of the lane. Dennis just hands him the ball, and he starts setting up the off-court offense from there. And a lot of it is just moving around and moving and working it and being unselfish to get to the most open shot, the highest percentage shot. And I love that. You do the same thing if Scott's not in with Siakam. Give him the ball and let him work. He's unselfish enough that he will not shoot so much that he freezes everybody out. If he's getting the double or triple team, he's had enough training over the last couple of years to recognize when it's coming and kick it out and get eight assists like he did last night. So it really is like in some ways the cloudiness of last year was there was no hierarchy. It was kind of like, oh, just go out there and play, guys. Do what you do, guys. Well, this year, let's have a protocol and say, yeah, it's got to go through Scott. It's got to go through Pascal. And you know what? You guys are going to find your shots off of them and the coverage that they get in double teams. And it's just like that. Yeah, it's just like that. Let's see. Nako's saying Scotty's a wee bit more versatile than Pascal. I think I trust Pascal to score 30 before Scotty. I trust Scotty to do more dirty work. Yeah. In some ways, Scott really relishes mixing it up physically with big boys down low. In some ways, the thing that's holding him back is his maturing body and his experience up here. He's going to go take more and more food off the plate as he gets older and bigger and stronger. He gets more savvy, he gets that old man strength. Man, look out. Scotty in like his 7th or 8th year in the league is going to be nasty because he's going to be really confident. He's going to be super strong, and he'll have a lot of knowledge accumulated from his years in the NBA now. That's the thing. He just needs time. And the more he accumulates and learns, the smarter and better he will get. He can be like LeBron and learn the game more and more and get to higher and higher levels. He just has that aptitude and he has the athleticism to just keep doing it. So I'm excited. Just like you guys are saying, I'm very excited about all this too. I agree, Nako. In some ways they're very different players. And Siakam has some supreme skills also, but Scotty he's a different thing. He's a blue chipper. He was like a grade A1 kind of player coming up all along. And Siakam kind of was almost a second rounder, late first rounder, who just really worked damn hard to get to where he is. An absolute stud as an athlete, don't get me wrong. But there's a different kind of athleticism with Scott. And it's because of the very interesting combination of sheer size and strength with quickness. G saying, if anyone sees Jimmy Pope anywhere, tell him to come back. It was an accident. Lex, is he blocked? I have no idea what I pressed. I think Jimmy was already kind of upset with me. And it's not anything to do with you, G. If he feels like that happened to him, Jimmy will come back and circle back, I'm sure. The Pope positivity is always a welcome Raptor freak here. I know that he got pissed at me last week for dissing OG. And he's very much like, there's certain people that are getting upset with me because when things are going bad, I have my own ideas about what we should do to change the team. And some people may not agree with me. And that's fine. I love Jimmy. I unconditionally love everybody. Some people go away for a while because they're sick of me. Or maybe they just don't agree with what I'm saying presently. And then they circle back and come back. I'm sure Jimmy will be back, geez, so don't worry. And it had nothing to do with you deleting the messages. It's more likely having to do with my opinions right now and his not totally lining up. There's been a few people that have left in the last couple of days because I've been so outspoken about certain things in certain ways that maybe rub them the wrong way. I can't worry about that. I've got to be unapologetically 100% Lex and just keep doing this the way I've always done it. And in some ways, I know that if things change or something happens, that they may come back. And that's the thing. I'm not going to get mad at anybody for leaving and coming back. The door is always open and unconditionally. I don't care. If you want to put the time in to spend time with me in the morning like this, I welcome it. But I know that everybody has lives and they have different things going on. And sometimes they're going to leave. And I don't want to read into why people leave or not. I'm just going to go ahead and let them leave as they need to. And when they're here, I'm happy to see them. But we got a whole bunch of y'all here. And I'll just be very blessed and glad to have the audience that I get. Now, Jimmy, I'm pretty sure we'll be back. So don't worry about it, G. And it's nothing that you did by dropping your phone the other day and deleting his messages by accident. It'll be fine. Chris is saying, I hope Barnes sees what G saw and says to himself that being a true point guard is not really his gig. I still think we need another quality guard who can actually shoot. No, I think Scotty's already decided this. I think that's the funny thing is like his fans are so behind on what he really is all about and what he wants that they have no idea that he's probably moved on from the idea of being a point guard. Right now, I get the feeling from listening to him in his interviews, wearing the Santa hat last night, really funny, really cute stuff with a teddy bear with his head chopped off on the sweater. Scotty is very intrigued about being the big bully boy down in the lane. In fact, on 2K, the way he plays, he likes to play down low. In some ways, he really does like beating up on those little babies. Those are his own words. It's like one of the things he says when he goes in the lane and he beats people in the low post with his strength and size. He's like, I'm bullying the little babies, is what he likes to talk. Take that, little baby, and he dunks on them. When he does that kind of shit like he did in the fourth quarter last night, that's what he's thinking. And in some ways, he likes having that power. He likes winning. And if he can be the most powerful down there, he's really going to embrace it. And he's not going to be like, I'm a point guard. I'm not allowed to go down low and shoot a lot because I've limited myself in my own head like all these other people. No, he's all about the vision that Darko has for him. He's bought in and he's excited about it. That's, in fact, what he said in interviews, that Darko has a plan for me and I'm bought in and I like it. So that's this thing people need to understand is like Scotty's smart and he's not limiting himself. In some ways, being a point guard would limit him. And he knows that his potential for as a player in the NBA is really, really wide open and amazingly high, the ceiling. And he's going to trust his coach, a development coach that has real good proven track record with people like Devin Booker, Desmond Bane, all these great players that he helped unlock in the years before. Yeah, you don't think Scotty's going to trust Rajakovic to get him to new levels? He's all about it. And in some ways, he's probably dropped the whole idea about point guard Scotty a long time ago, a long, long time ago. And in some ways, he probably wants his fans to drop it too on the down low. Let's see. All right, we're on Kareem. So we got Pascal driving the garbage truck, Scotty doing the dirty work, and OG across the street fixing the plumbing. I wish OG was doing more plumbing, but seriously, I saw him very lazy last night. He was not giving a good effort. And in some ways, he was really checked out. And immediately from the beginning of the game, there was like a weird energy when they started the game where they were like unsure. Like Dennis looked really unsure about what Raptors were going to show up. You could tell he was not confident. And he was kind of like, man, these guys around me, I don't totally trust them. Like in some ways, the part of it is the trusting each other is not happening right now because some of these guys are coming at different fluctuating levels of trying and they're feeling it from each other. So it could very well be that, like, the confidence of winning the game, as I read from Schroeder's face before the jump ball, was like, I hope we show up the right way and we win, but I'm not totally sure kind of thing was how I was reading him. And it's true. Like from the start of the game, a couple of the Raptors in the starting lineups were duds. As far as Yaka was a dud last night, I'll admit it, yes. But so was OG. OG was a dud last night in the starting lineup. I mean, he had what? He got 2 of 10 from the field. He missed all 5 of his threes. In fact, one of his threes was so lazy, it was like an air ball short of the rim. And I was like, OG's not even using his legs to shoot at this point. He just kind of flipped it with his arms. And of course, it's going to be a foot short of going into the rim. It's like it's right. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's not trying. I can tell. It's very apparent he's not trying. So 5 points, 2 of 10 shooting in 32 minutes, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. Yeah, OG's checked out, y'all. To a degree, OG has checked out. And that may be very much because he knows what's coming. Something's coming very soon. It could very well be that. Yeah. Cowboy is saying alley-oop to Kareem. All right, I'll give alley-oop. Dunk leader, Kareem Thomas. The rich get richer. That's just society. You're Jeff Bezos of dunks, Kareem. You are Jeff Bezos, and Bezos is getting very rich right now with Amazon delivering every which way. Chris is saying we need Koloko to recover. Yes. It's weird. They asked Chris about Koloko yesterday in his interview, and Chris was like, I have no idea what's going on with Koloko. They won't even tell us. It's like I have no idea. They won't. They're very secretive about what's wrong with Christian and why he's not playing. And I have no idea myself why he's not playing. So that's what Chris said yesterday. So it's a mystery to the players on the team also what the hell is wrong with Koloko right now. So yeah, they don't even know. They don't even know. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Rapid Free Crew. Go vote for Pascal and Scotty for NBA All-Star. I'm all about that. That's right. I vote all Raptors every year. Every single ballot, I put all Raptors. And on the West side, I put in all former Raptors like Kawhi, Norman, Jonas. I'll mark all those guys on the West side. And then boom, it's all the Raptors starting lineup in the other side. That's right. Every single time I do an all-star ballot, all Raptors, just Raptors, all Raptors. That's all I vote for. Good morning to you, Cool Cat. Chris is saying, are you going to turn into Bob Costas in the second half, Lex? Laugh out loud. Maybe. I don't know. Bob Costas. I don't know. I felt like this is a weird kind of energy from last night's game that I'd kind of mimic it today. And it's kind of fun, actually. I've been kind of goofy today. Fiercely saying, Lex is cracking me up. You're also pulling the Lauryn Hill. Nonchalant Lex matching the Raptors' energy. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'm going to be nonchalant. They're going to be nonchalant. I'm going to be nonchalant. Why not? Let's just be nonchalant. Yeah, I mirror my team. They're going to be excellent. I'll be excellent. They're going to be nonchalant. I'll be nonchalant. Hey, that's just how it is. Cowboys saying, let's go, Koloko. I'm all about that. G saying they are not even boxing out. The fundamentals need discipline. I know. That's why it's hot garbage. That first half, most of this game, I say like 75% of this game was hot garbage. Absolute garbage. No fundamentals being done exactly right in any kind of way. In fact, there's problems on our defense now from exactly what G's saying, that they're not even defensive rebounding at this point. And that's like the very easiest like building blocks of most important things in basketball is defensive rebounding. Forget about offensive rebounding or anything. You need to get the defensive rebound on your defensive side. And they weren't even doing that correctly. Yeah, it's really scary. In some ways, they have a lot of bad tape to watch from last night. And I hope Darko's really going in on them for the really shitty, unfundamental play last night. They did not play ethical basketball for most of that game last night. They did not play ethical basketball in the least. That was some of the most unprofessional bullshit basketball I'd ever seen the Raptors play in a long time. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Yeah, let's keep going. Nako's saying thank you to the Canadian Border Control. Listen, I was exactly right about this yesterday. The border is not going to let y'all in. The Hornets, I don't understand why y'all think that you're above Canadian federal law. Seriously, you're going to try and Woj was reporting that the Hornets are trying to get Miles Bridges into the country. Still, they're trying to get a way around it. No, you can't do that. Seriously, you don't even understand this, Hornets. Maybe you're from North Carolina and down there in the South and stuff like that. You don't understand. Canada has good laws. We don't allow criminals in our country. We don't allow felons. And he is a felon. He's a convicted felon. And honestly, I don't think Miles Bridges is ever going to be allowed to play in Toronto again. So they're going to have to figure this out because he's not going to get an appeal or a special allowance because Canada don't do that shit, man. I got my friend Matt down in Florida. He wants to come up here and moose hunt. He's a felon. He can't ever come up here and moose hunt ever his whole life because he's an American citizen and a felon. And they don't want people like him coming across this country. Thank you, Canada, for keeping us safe from Matt Williams of Tallahassee, Florida. That man is crazy. He ain't coming up here. He is crazy, even though he's my friend and he wants to go moose hunting. Nah, you can't come up here, Miles Bridges. If my friend Matt can't come up here, that's right. If my felon friends in Florida can't come up here to visit me, you can't come here either, Miles Bridges. It's just fair. It's equality. No, there's no special class because you're an NBA player. Fuck that shit. You think you just get special treatment because you're a millionaire and you can dunk the ball? Fuck that. You can't come up here just like Matt can't come up here and shoot a moose. I'm sorry, bro. It's just the rules. Equality for all. And that's just how it is. And it's a hard line rule that Canada has had for a long, long time. They got to figure this out. Because, seriously, for the rest of his career, he may not ever be able to allow to become up here and play against the Raptors. They're going to have the same problem next time the Hornets have to play at Scotiabank Arena. They're going to have the same damn problem every single time because it doesn't go away. If he's a felon now for the rest of his life, he's never ever going to be able to come back to Canada to play against the Raptors. So Hornets, you may need to think about whether he should be playing for your fucking team in the first place because he's not even allowed in this country now. And once again, Canada is showing a paragon of excellence and smarts. They say this guy is a criminal and we don't want him coming in our country. All these blind people are saying, oh, what did he do? He didn't do anything wrong. He doesn't deserve this bullshit. He beat his wife up and he's convicted for it. And that's a felony. And felons don't come into Canada. No ifs, ands, or buts. Steve Clifford, whatever you're trying to say to the Border Patrol, they ain't listening. It's like they don't give a shit if he's got to be at the Scotiabank Arena to play against Scotty Barnes. No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't care. You might as well go get a car and try and jump it over the border to get Miles Bridges over here. Yeah, that's the only way you're going to get him over here. Maybe you go call the Trailer Park Boys and see if you can ride on their little train, their weed train across the border in Maine or something, trying to get Miles Bridges over here. Oh, he's not supposed to be here, though. He's on TV. He's on TV. He's on the Raptor show. How did he get across? Go get him, Border Patrol. What are you going to do? You can't do nothing about this. I thought the audacity of the NBA, Woj, and the Charlotte Hornets that they thought that they could go up against the Canadian government and get this switch to the last moment so that Miles Bridges could play in Toronto last night. You guys are fucking stupid because it's federal law and it pertains to everyone equally. That's all I got to say on that right there. Yeah. Shere Khan saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Finally beating a lower level team like we are supposed to. What's going on with the team? Is Darko going to put the hammer down or something? We have talent, just have to get attitude right. I had a thing that occurred to me, Shere Khan, in the first half. I was like, why don't we put in Garrett, Otto, and Thad just to prove a point that if y'all are going to play unprofessional, we're going to take these old heads off the bench and we're going to put them in with Scotty and Precious. Well, think about that. If they had done that, what the message it would have been sent to the rest of the Raptors is like, look, y'all aren't playing professional. We're going to get the old heads and dust them off and bring them out here. Even if they're lower level, they probably could have ran with the Hornets and done fine. If I was Darko, I may have done that. That may have been a really good kick in the ass to say, oh my gosh, y'all are playing so bad that Thad and Garrett are out there taking your minutes. Because honestly, I would have had more faith in them to execute and be professional on the court than what the pile of shit that the Raptors were playing in the first half last night was. I really was. In the second quarter, I was like, man, just put Otto in, put Garrett, put Thad in, and put them in with Scotty, because Scotty's the only one who's trying out there. And see what that lineup is. Pick one of the other guys. I don't know, Gary, Precious, Pascal. I don't give a shit. Put one of those other guys in there with that vet lineup, the old Bull vets, and see if they can do something. I would be doing stuff like that. If I was Pat Delaney and I was sitting next to Darko and he's taking my suggestions, I would be like, hey, Darko, why don't you put in the old guys? These guys aren't playing. Put the old guys in. Yeah, put them in. Yeah. I'll be giving suggestions like that because I felt like that could have been a very smart thing to do just in case of emergency of absolute shit play. All right, let's see. Kareem saying, I'm going to need Scotty to start making campaign commercials like Chris did for a spot on the All-Star team. You're talking about Chris Bosh. He's not talking about Chris Boucher. He's talking about Chris Bosh, who made like these crazy cowboy commercials with a cowboy hat. And he's like, y'all come on down to Chris Bosh's All-Star and vote for me and stuff like that. He was crazy, Chris Bosh, with his cowboy All-Star commercials. Chris is saying, would it be so wrong for me to suggest a bit of pregame cocaine for the Raptors? Yes. Wrong era. Maybe in the late 70s, that would have been apropos, but not at this point. And honestly, Chris, the way ketamine is going right now, Matthew Perry died of that ketamine shit, or fentanyl. That's what it is, fentanyl. Fentanyl killed Matthew Perry. They did the autopsy on his body, and he died of fentanyl. He probably did some cocaine. He thought it was mostly cocaine, but it was fentanyl, and it killed one of the friends. So no, I highly recommend anybody who's interested in cocaine or does cocaine or has been doing cocaine in the past to just quit that shit. Because honestly, I studied life tables and mortality in grad school, and fentanyl is killing people like an epidemic right now. And it's because cocaine users are dying at a higher rate because that shit is in there, and it is deadly. So nobody should be doing no cocaine at this point because it's fentanyl and it kills you. And that's what killed Matthew Perry. And I definitely want no Raptors to do that. Now, maybe they can talk to Red Bull and Pascal and go get a 6-pack of that and just chug those for a bit. That's fine. You want to be like Daryl Armstrong of the Orlando Magic and be a caffeine bunny and just drink a bunch of coffee at halftime, dark coffee. That was his thing. Daryl Armstrong, great Orlando Magic legend. He was very much hyped up on caffeine. Every single game. He was drinking coffee at halftime. Whoa. Yeah, maybe we can do that. But no fentanyl. Come on now. Cowboys laughing about what Chris said. The Mug Brothers in effect. Seymour saying Hornets got roasted like Honey Nut Cheerios. Yeah, I love that. I'm giving myself a dunk for perfect inflection and tone to the old the bee commercial with that little bee and the Honey Nut Cheerios. Yeah, I remember how that song went in that commercial. That's right, Honey Nut Cheerios. G saying, the question is, why are they being unprofessional? Why are y'all doing this to us? Why are you trying to make a mockery of an NBA team right now? Why are you doing this? What are you doing to Darko? Why are you making him go gray so fast? Why are you doing this to us? Seriously, stop. Don't do it on Wednesday. The Nuggets are coming. Seriously, you can't do that shit. Fiercely saying, I think even my daughter's team would have beaten them in the first quarter. Yeah. Had we lost the Hornets missing 4 of their regular starters, it would have looked really bad. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine what this stream would be like if I'm unprofessional and we lost? Oh my gosh. I might be angry and unprofessional this morning instead of kind of just weird and quirky and slightly funny and unprofessional. No, I'd be like crazy, angry, unprofessional if we had lost that game to the Hornets the way they were last night. Yeah, it would have been weird. It would have been very strange. Seymour saying, yo, Raptor Freaks, let's keep the streak going. That's right. We need dinner from Darko. Now, listen, if we're going to get dinner from Darko, that means we're going to beat the world champions tomorrow. The NBA champions, sorry, Dennis, I apologize. The NBA champions tomorrow. And then we got to go to Nick Nurse's house in Wells Fargo and beat that crazy-ass team that Joel Embiid hasn't played in the fourth quarter because they blow every team out so much recently. He's averaging 38 points a game, and he never plays in the fourth quarter because they win by so much. Nick Nurse has kicked back. He's not even doing his squats anymore because this team is just kicking so much ass. Seriously, the Sixers are nasty. I hate saying it. In some ways, the Sixers got a whole bunch of Nick Nurse kind of guys like Batum and Harris and Oubre and those guys all around, Maxey and Embiid. They have a really good defensive team in some ways that Nick is absolutely using like he used us in years past. I am so scared of the Sixers at this point. And in some ways, they are nasty. And in some ways, I have to respect and love what Nick Nurse has done there. And you see the difference between Doc Rivers and Nick Nurse is very, very, very stark. And Sixers fans are just reveling in it. Nick Nurse is a god in Philadelphia at this point for how he's turned around that franchise. If we're going to get 3 in a row, we got to go in there and beat them there. I'm all about it, though. Like, seriously, I'm with this. We won last night in an ugly-ass, stupid game. Well, let's beat the champions tomorrow, and then let's go beat Philly in Philly. And then come back on Saturday, and I'll come to the game at Utah Jazz and watch them win against the Jazz also. I would love all that. That would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. Cowboys saying alley-oop to Fiercey. All right, yeah, we'll do that. Fiercey wants to bring her daughter's team down there to scrimmage with the Raptors, and maybe we'll see them beat them. Naka saying, Chris, dog, they are going to crash hard halfway through the first quarter. Yeah, that's no good. And no way we're not endorsing anybody doing cocaine. That's suicide at this point. Seriously. If anybody that watches me regularly, and I'm not pointing anybody out or anything, if you are doing that, quit that shit right now. Fentanyl is going to kill your ass. And I mean it, seriously. You don't need to be doing that anymore. That's an 80s drug, and now fentanyl's here. It's a dangerous, deadly drug. It really, really is not smart to do at this point. All right, let's see. Seymour's saluting the cowboy. That's right. He's a cowboy, and he's going to head out west to Seymour soon. Yeah, let's see. Kareem saying at MSJ, I approve of a little boost of booger sugar. Get these guys going. See, he is approving of this. Kareem, we can't have this happening. We don't need no Len Bias shit going on here. Come on now. Come on now. We don't need none of that. Cowboys saying, yes, sir, Mountain Standard Time. And Seymour saying, I get hype off every win. I do too. Seymour's feeling good. I like that. Chris is saying meth at halftime. You guys are really bad influences. Chris, what are you talking about? Meth and cocaine. What the fuck? Come on, man. It's drug-free, man. Nancy Reagan, bro. Come on now. Jillian saying, good morning, winners. Good morning, winners. I love it. Yes, and she's not even talking about the store that sells clothes, Winners. She's talking about that we won the game last night. Yeah. It didn't feel like it totally, though. But yeah, good to see you, Jillian. We love you. Let's see what else people are saying. Fiercely saying, Dwayne Casey must have felt right at home. He's used to seeing lackluster performances like these from the Pistons. Yeah. It's so bad there that he had to come over here and get a refresher. And Hornets versus Raptors was good enough to refresh him from the horribleness of the Pistons. I don't know. I'm serious. I feel like he may be like, I don't want to be around this, Monty. Seriously, would you guys let me out of my consultation contract? Can I go back to the Raptors if they want me? I feel like he was up here kind of feeling it out. You know, seriously, I would love Casey to be back a part of the Raptors organization. In some ways, his best part of his career, his most important part of his career, even though he won a championship with the Mavericks as an assistant coach, I feel like it's the time with the Raptors that really is his most successful, amazing period. That time with Kyle and DeMar, that whole chunk of the 2010s. Woo! Wow! And I'd love to have him back around. I'm serious. I feel like he could really help us. Really, really help us. And I know that he won't step on Darko's toes. And I don't know what capacity exactly. Maybe he can be a little bit like Wayne Embry. Maybe he can be a little bit like just somebody who's kind of around as a consultant also. That would be great. Let's see. Cowboys laughing at MSJ. He's like, I'm just joking, kids. Drugs are bad. Drugs are bad. Okay. You shouldn't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Okay, Mr. Mackey. Let's see. Cowboys saying, good morning, Jillian and the Ottawa ladies. Let's go. The Ottawa ladies and the Mug Brothers. It's just like in the Western town in the dead end world, the Mug Brothers and the Ottawa ladies. I don't know. That didn't work totally. Fiercely saying, they say a win is a win, but this win was not deserved. I know. That's the way this, every single game is like a story. It's like a movie. And I feel like last night's movie was really weird. It was like a really bad story in the beginning, but then there was a hero with where's the number 4 that came in and saved the day. It's kind of like what that story was last night. Every NBA game is a story. And, well, we got a weird story last night. It was a very unique kind of game. Some of the worst, most unprofessional NBA basketball I've seen the Raptors play since the 90s. Seriously. Maybe a little bit around the Bosch era in between Carter and Bosch. Little unprofessional around then, but not this bad of unprofessional as the first half of last night. Yeah. Good morning to Canadian Cowboy from Jillian. And G saying, Scotty is maturing before our eyes. The immaturity and unprofessionalism has come from somewhere, and I personally cannot pinpoint it. I don't know what it is. I do feel like it's OG's kind of just given up. I think that it emanates possibly from him, and that's why I'm all about him just getting traded. Trade him. Trade him. Go ahead, trade him. We're gonna get a good package. We get the right kind of people back. And boom, we could be a lot different team for the second half of the season. Seriously. We could be a very, very different team, especially with Scotty growing exponentially game to game. Jalen Moody's saying Dwayne Casey rocks. And I like that joke. It's kind of funny because he has that boulder. He does rock, Jillian. He literally rocks with a big, huge boulder rock. That's right. He's a rocking guy. Let's see. Fiercely saying, yes, a G. I was shouting at the chat. Why aren't we getting rebounds? I know. It's like they weren't even trying for a while there. Well, this Gary Trent Jr. got double-double. That's so weird to me. That is so weird. Seymour saying, good morning, Vietnam. Good morning, Vietnam. And good morning, Jillian, the Raptor Streaks. There you go, Seymour. Mug Brothers. Randolph Phillips is here. Good morning, beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang. Blessings, one and all. Make the best with what you're given today. Touch and transform a life today. There you go. There you go, Randolph Phillips. Blessings to you and the Phillips family, everybody's family. Thank you, and happy holidays to everybody. This coming up quick. Christmas is coming quick. That's right. Fiercely saying, thanks for the explanation, Nako. Yeah. And Wayne saying, I am kind of speechless. I can't respect professional players who can't garner some sweat while playing. I saw Gary and Precious show some gumption. Take the rest, Lex. You're on point. Yeah. All right. I appreciate that, Wayne. Yeah, maybe I'll just be unprofessional and just end the stream right in the middle of it. And I won't even read the rest of these comments. I don't care. I'm unprofessional. Yeah. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing a stream? Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I checked out for a second, like somebody on defense last night. Yeah, let's see. Seymour saying, Randolph Phillips, you rock, broski. Excuse me, wrong pipe. Let's see. Good morning, Raptor Freak family from Carlo JS. Always good to see Raptor Freak Carlo JS on the morning of a win. Jillian said OG was being punished for his attitude against the Hawks. Not sure what happened to Yak. Yeah. You know, it's weird. They have this clip of OG smiling real big and stuff like that. I don't know. He seems like he's out there kind of like goofing around. I don't know. OG, get in gear, bro. At least for a while, you're still a Raptor. You want to leave on a good note if you are leaving. You may not be still. I'm open to anything. But seriously, you want to leave on the right note and give a good effort right until the end, even if it's coming, is what I'm saying. Because seriously, we don't remember how it ended with you and that you weren't trying as hard as you usually did. It's not even that you just have to do a little bit more, my man. Just a little bit more. Nako saying, request for Grady podcast watch. You want me to watch the podcast of Grady on the air? It never really works that well, Gerald, or I would. You know, you guys want me to do more reaction kind of stuff? I'm thinking about doing a live reaction to the 905 game at 10:30 on Friday morning, but that's within reason of being able to spend time with my family. So we'll have to see. I don't mind doing watch-alongs, but in a lot of ways, I don't have the equipment and the setup and the things that I do with this channel to do it correctly. When I did watch-alongs with the TV behind me, it was always like not working exactly right. It's kind of tough. I don't mind doing watch-alongs where I'm not on the screen. I'm kind of commentating at the same time. We'll see. We'll see, Nako. I'll take it into thinking about it. Jillian saying also being punished for Precious and Malachi. You know, Malachi got a quick hook in the first half of the game. He got out there for 6 minutes, and when Darko he saw something he didn't like that he did, he pulled him out right away, and he didn't even play hardly at all in the first half. He got to play a little bit more in the second half, but that was partly because he was having some success. And, you know, Malachi 1 for 6, 16 minutes, 0 for 4 for all of his threes. You absolutely pissed me off how you miss threes that are wide open, Malachi. It's so frustrating. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a +4 with 2 points. Yeah, that's just garbage. Honestly, seriously, can we get another point guard back up, please? Can we please? Seymour saying, now I see why J. Cole tried to make the league. Imagine watching the Hornets every day. That's funny. All right, Jillian saying Gary's no longer suffering from his plantar fasciitis. I think he still is to a degree, a little bit, but it's not as bad as it was before. I think his lift is still kind of weird. Like in the game against Atlanta on Friday, he tried to dunk it, and he really was barely getting up to the rim, and they came and blocked him from behind. Like in the past, he would be quick to get up and throw it down really fast, but he seems like he is still having problems. Like in some ways, I feel like Gary's chained to the ground. Like he doesn't have lift right now. Before in the past, if he took his shot on the outside, he would get up in the air a bit and shoot it. And not right now. He's very much chained to the ground. It's very strange what's going on with him this season. Infamous is saying, salute, freaks. I agree. It wasn't a satisfying win. However, let's put it into perspective. The Lakers lost to the Spurs, one of the worst teams. Phil lost to the Bulls, another bad team. It happens. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the NBA is a wild west, and it's crazy. I'm so happy Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs beat the IST champions, raising a banner. Raising a banner, a IST banner. It's so stupid. And yeah, y'all lost the Spurs on the same day. It's hilarious. G St. Casey was there. Is he scouting? And he said glowing things about Messiah and Bobby. In regards to OG, he has always worked hard. Is the mental aspect of trade talks and contracts getting to him? Yeah, I think he's always been a pretty hard worker too. But I'm really watching him under a microscope right now. And if it seems like he's really half-assing it, I'm going to say it. And he seemed like he was half-assing it for most of the game last night. He really did. I was shocked that they played him at the end of the game. Now, he wasn't hurting us. And in some ways, he's a supreme great defender, even by default, even if he's not playing as hard as he can. So I get why he played late in the game at the end. But in some ways, I would have benched him and maybe possibly rewarded somebody like Achua for their really hard work and what they were doing. That's part of the thing is I want a reward system on the Raptors. That's how you get better things out of your players is show them there's a reward system. You do certain things, you get the start, you get more minutes, you get more shots. And that's what I want to see Darko implement more with these guys and let them know this is how it is. You know, Gary, if you make 3 out of your first 5 shots, we will continue to go to you during the game. Now, if you're at 1 for 5, we may go away from you. So I want to entice you to shoot and make at least 3 of your first 5 shots. That's some ways how you put a carrot in front of a player and say, go for this. Instead of just like saying, well, you get the minutes because this is my rotation and you're just going to get in anytime. I really don't like that. That in some ways, it's like you should not just give stuff to people. They have to earn it. And in some ways, this team is not playing well enough to just be given things. They need to show that they're going to play at a certain level of professionalism, and then they've earned it. And then Darko can start showering them with whatever it is. You want more shots? Boom, Gary. You got the most shots last night because you're making your shot. You want more minutes? Okay, make your shots, Malachi. And then maybe I'll play you for more of the game. That's the kind of stuff he needs to use to entice them to play to a higher level. And I feel like he's not doing it exactly right. Jillian's saying, infamous. What do you mean? It was a win. It was very ugly, Jillian. Well, I'm not happy with what they did last night. It's a very hollow win to me because they played so shitty. They may have played their worst game last night and they still won. That's the crazy thing. They may have played their worst game this season last night and they still won. It's crazy. Maybe G. And Jillian saying Dwayne Casey suggested for 905. I don't know if he'd do that. That is really a demotion. Maybe he should be the GM of the 905. I don't know. Maybe he should just be. I don't know what he should be for us. In some ways, if they could work it out and we could get him back in the Raptors organization somehow, some way, I'd be all about that. Oh my gosh, I'd be so all about that. The guy is a really good person to have around. Seriously. Monique is saying, Dwayne Casey has my heart. The showcase pictures of the 905 are super bright. Yeah, they're very orange. They're very orange, aren't they, Monique? They're not giving me the refs for tonight. Monique, you're getting a dunk because Dwayne Casey has your heart. I like that. Yeah, they're very bright pictures. The 905 pictures with O'Banner and Noel. I like them. It's like a sun. It's like purple and orange and very, very, very nice colors. Jillian's laughing at me. Let's see. I don't even know why. I'm said a lot of dumb shit today. David's got a cookie for us. I love it. Cookie. Infamous is saying Gary having his first double-double is kind of embarrassing for a player that's been in the league this long. What we're looking for from Gary is consistency. Boom, goes the dynamite. Yeah. In some ways, I'm like, yeah, this is great, Gary. You got your first double-double of your career. But I'm like, yeah, exactly what Infamous just said. And in some ways, like, look, this kind of beat y'all's theory is like, oh, he needs to start. Well, in some ways, look, we got more out of Gary and more usefulness last night than ever because he was actually rebounding and making shots. And in some ways, like, he did that off the bench. Like, he can get a double-double off the bench. The first one in his career, he never got a double-double when he started, and he got like almost 40 points and played 40 minutes. He never got a double-double. Then he got a double-double last night under Darko in his system and off the bench. I don't know. Mugabe's here. Good to see Mugabe. Lennon. Good morning, Raptors freaks. Lex, the people that Pascal and Scotty say that the people that say that Pascal and Scotty can't play together, bullshit. They've been playing well together the last 5+ games. Exactly right, Mr. Lennon. Exactly right. Those guys are a great pairing, and we need to invest in Siakam. We need to keep him around. We really do. Jillian's saying, Lex, the Canuckian Raptorian Beaver. Justin Bieber came around because of Justin Champagny. He was sunning everybody in interviews, Jillian. I don't know if you remember when Justin Champagny would jump in on Jeff Doughton Jr.'s interview and say, this guy's my son. Well, this was my son, Justin Bieber. And we were making a parody of Justin Champagny as sunning everybody. And Justin Bieber became a regular on the show for a while. But I feel like it was like kind of kitschy and unprofessional once again to have a puppet on a Raptors live stream every morning. So he's kind of like been phased out, like Ronald McDonald at McDonald's. So he makes appearances sometimes, and he's here with me sometimes. He's always here. It's just that he's not always on the show, but he can show up from time to time in different places for different reasons. In some ways, he's the Canadian content officer for this channel. If I don't talk enough about Canadian content, he comes down hard on me, just like the CRTC does. So yeah, that's Justin Bieber, this guy. He's my son, my Bieber son. You are my son, and I love you. Okay, now you can go build your dam. Go get that dam, son. Damn, son. That's right. Alan Tam, bam, son. Oh, he got struck out. Sorry. Oh, Alan Tam's gone. Oh, there's a callback right there. All right, let's see. Uncle David in the house. Uncle David in the house. That's right. And hi to Mugarbe from Jillian. Alley-oop to Jillian. All right. Jillian is always a positive ball of energy, and we are always happy to see Jillian here. Let's see. Jillian's saying K-pop. Korean for Scotty? Yeah, K-pop superstars. That's the secret to how Andrew Wiggins started in the All-Star game a couple years ago. That he got a following. Some K-pop superstars endorsed him over in Korea. And this is a powerful, powerful nation of millions of people. And they will just jump in and they will follow. If this K-pop star says, vote for Scotty Barnes and the NBA All-Star, all the little teeny boppers that love that K-pop band will go do it. And that's what I'm saying. Let's get some Swiftie power. Let's get some K-pop power. Let's get all the teeny boppers to go crazy on their phones and vote like crazy for Scotty Barnes to start in the NBA All-Star game. I solicit you, K-pop teeny boppers, to help young Wayne Barnes to get to be a starter at the All-Star game. Please do it. Yes, Infamous saying what I meant was that there's parity all across the league. There is, but the teams have to play up to their potential and talent to be in parity with the rest of the league. And that's not what the Raptors are doing right now. We're a much better team than we've been performing. And when we play better, our record will be even better and it will show. It's the players' fault. We've been playing bad this year. And when they get their ass together, like Gary did last night, we see better results. And that's what's happening. Yeah, Cowboys got Scotty is a cookie monster. Scotty's a cookie monster. Oh, C is for cookie. It's good enough for me. Let's see. Canadian Cowboy, thank you from Jillian. Let's see. Fiercey saying Andrew Wiggins recently spoke to the fact that he was no longer in the starting lineup. He said he would work hard to get out of the doghouse, love the accountability, and drive to get back what's his. Yeah, the Warriors are in disarray, just like us. And they had to bench Wiggins because he has not been playing well. And a lot of people are dissing him. In fact, some people are saying that we should maybe not want him to come and play for Team Canada next year. That maybe he's not playing up to the level with the rest of the guys that were on our team this year already, and that we don't need to open up a spot for Wiggins. We'll open that spot for Murray, but we may not be opening that spot for Wiggins. And there is a really serious debate around Team Canada basketball about how we build this roster for the Olympics in Paris next summer. Which guys from the team that went to FIBA last summer are going to be on the team and which ones are not going to be on the team because bigger superstars like Jamal Murray or Andrew Wiggins are going to show up and be on Team Canada. There's going to be some drama to this, and this channel will be on top of it, and we'll be talking about it as the issues come in the next year leading up to the Olympics, the Summer Olympics in Paris next summer. So it's going to be exciting and fun to see Wiggins get out of the mud, and thank you for taking accountability, not just for the Warriors, because we're going to need you up to speed if you're going to come play for Team Canada also. That's right. Anytime, darling. Let's go. Mugabe is saying the only thing stopping Scotty from being an all-star, the team has to win, just like how Pascal missed all NBA last season because the team did not win enough. Jillian, good morning. But I'm going to say this right now, Mugabe. He's not going to be stopped by a record to be an all-star. In fact, he may look even better because of our team being the way it is and the way he's playing. It's not necessary. It's an individual award. In some ways, all NBA is different because it'll tie in the record and your impact. But what they're looking at for all-star is how much you're fun to watch. Do you make good dunks? Do you do good highlights? Do you have amazing stat lines as a player? And Scotty's had that stuff, all that kind of stuff lately. Eyes are opening up. Kevin Pelton and ESPN wrote an article recently predicting who he thinks the All-Stars are. And he has Scotty in the starting lineup with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey and Giannis Antetokounmpo. So he has him as one of the top 5 Eastern. And this is an ESPN writer that usually just ignores us. And he's already recognizing that he thinks Scotty should be a starter at the All-Star. So I think it's going to happen. And in some ways, whether we win or lose won't matter. It's about whether Scott consistently plays at a very high level like he did last night. And he has all-star kind of shit going on with what he does. And he's doing that. He's on track. But I'm telling you, if the K-pop and the Swifties can help him, we can get him in on fan vote. But I'm going to tell you, most of the coaches in the league will probably put him on the reserves if he doesn't get voted into starters. Because those coaches are seeing what's happening with him too. And they are like trying to figure out how they got to guard him and deal with him for the future. Yeah, they're going to put him in on the reserves if he doesn't get voted in as a starter. I think he will get voted in as a starter, though, because his popularity is definitely on the rise. Let's see. Fiercely saying Casey equals consultant. Wasn't the president or CEO after he quit coaching last year? See, I was mistaken, Fiercely. I said this on this channel that Casey retired as a coach because he's just like I say it his Roger Murtaugh moment from Lethal Weapon. Danny Glover said, "I'm getting too old for this shit," and he's like, fuck this. I'm not gonna be here for this rebuild with the Pistons, and rightfully so. You see how bad they are this year, and Casey being involved in that's no good for him at his age. So he stepped down. And I thought that he was taking over as GM of the Pistons, but no, he's not the GM. They have a different GM. And I guess he's just a consultant. Maybe he's not happy with his role on the Pistons. And especially since they're so shit, he's like, maybe I do need to go visit Masai in Toronto and see what's up with them and whether I could maybe come there. I don't know. I think it's really weird. Now, maybe he's advanced scouting for the Pistons. Maybe. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. And in some ways, him just showing up and being at Scotiabank Arena last night, I was like, I'd like him to come back and work for us when I saw him. Bryce is saying OG to the Pistons. Just send OG to the Pistons and get some of the young players on that. That may happen. Who knows? That is a team we're talking to. All of a sudden, the Kings are saying they're not interested in dealing with us. It's like the news out there. It's like, oh, we're not interested in OG or Pascal at this point. Okay, fine, Kings. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. We don't care. Whatever. There's a lot of other teams interested. We don't need you. Seymour saying, out of the blue, question, what number did Eric Montross wear for us? Are you trying to do a trivia to me right now? Oh, my gosh. All right, I got to try and really think about this because this is an easy Raptor Free trivia. And I'm going off the top of my head, and I'm really going to try and guess this, okay? I want to say that he wore like 00, but I know that's wrong. Did he wear like 55 or something like that? I'm going to go look it up. Because I can look it up, and I'm going to find out. I'm going to say he wore the same number. It's like a repeat number. It's either 55, 44, or 00 or something like that, I think. Now, let's see if I'm right. I may be very off. Rest in peace. Oh, he was 00. I was right. He's 00. I was right on the first answer. So there you go. Boom goes the dynamite. I need to trust my instincts and my even if I don't get that little piece of information out of my brain for like 20 years, it's still there. And 00 was the right answer. He was 00. Man, I need to trust my gut. I really do. I need to trust my instincts. Good question. And yeah, let's go. Infamous is saying, Casey dropped some gems on the Raptors Tonight Show. Great individual person. My perspective has changed towards him. Awesome. I'm going to have to watch that now. I didn't know he was a guest. Of course he was a guest on Raptors Tonight last night. I'm definitely going to watch that this afternoon because I love me some Casey. And in some ways, I want Raptor Freaks and Raptors Nation to celebrate him just as much as Nick, if not more. Now, I'm going to go till noon, guys. I have 40 minutes left. I know it'll be over 2 hours. But noon is now my new set cutoff time. I'm definitely cutting off at noon, no matter what. It's like I'm never going to go past noon anymore on the stream ever again. Unless it's a live stream we're doing because we're watching something or something like that. Let's see. Jillian saying last night everyone wanting Mr. Casey to come to the 905. Was that what people were saying on the Raptors Tonight stream or the guys on that show that they want him to coach 905? Man, if he just wanted that job and he just wanted to have it just for fun and we paid him very well, I'd be all about that. It's a really good fit because you see how well he did with building up guys like Fred and Pascal and OG. That'd be the weird thing is like if Casey was on our coaching staff all of a sudden, he has a prior relationship with Jakob, OG, Pascal. He coached all those guys before Nick. And that's kind of cool in some ways. That continuity and that relationship from before. Bryce saying, got Boogie, Killian, and first round. You want Boogie? Oh, Bogey. You mean Bogdan Bogdanovic, Killian Hayes, and a first round pick for like OG with the Pistons? I don't know if I like that completely. I think that I don't like Killian Hayes as much as I like some of their other young players. There's some very interesting young players on the Pistons. And until we see them, I want to see where they're at like currently. When we play them before the end of this year, I'll scout them and I'll be like, no, the one we need to get is this one. And obviously, Cade and Jaden Ivey are really top players for them. But Bogdanovich, I'd be okay with it, although he's got injuries. And in some ways, I'd rather have the other bogey from Atlanta. But Killian Hayes, I'm not interested in him. I don't know why. In some ways, he's a Quentin Grimes to me. Him and Quentin Grimes are very similar. And I'm just like, who cares? All right, let's see. Chris is bringing up Chet. Anyone notice Chet has 15 blocks in 2 games? One night was blocked straight into the floor. As a fan of the game, unreal to see. I've heard he's been getting some crazy blocks. Like he had a stat line the other day that somebody hadn't done since Alonzo Mourning, and that's pretty impressive. Yeah, I'm not the Thunder Freak, so I don't give a fuck. I'm not the Thunder Freak, so Chet Holmgren is only talked about here by me when we play them. And otherwise, I'm not watching them, so I don't give a shit. Seymour saying Chet is a hidden gem. He might be the rookie of the year. Victor, you got to get your ass in gear if you're going to try and win that award because it looks like Chet's running away with it. All right, let's see. I'm going to take a break. I need a water real quick. All right, Carlos saying Casey said that he often jokes with LeBron that he's the reason he's in Detroit. That's funny. That's funny stuff. Smooth saying Dwayne scouting for Detroit, looking at OG, I think. Could be. Want to see how OG was. Maybe he went and told OG, hey, listen, I'm here to scout you to trade you to Detroit. Okay, I'm going to play really bad then. Maybe that's what's up. He's like, okay, Coach Casey's here. Oh, hi, Case. Why are you here? I'm here for Detroit. I'm coming here to see how you guys are doing. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to really not play well tonight, OG said to himself. He's like, I don't want to look good, so they trade me to Detroit. Let's see. Trevor saying Casey put it into so many words for toxic fans to understand about the good front office. Yeah, I felt like that halftime interview that he did with Kayla, it was awesome. That was fantastic. And really, really put in perspective just how badass Masai Ujiri is. And I'm all for that. I'm on the same side. I'm fighting the good fight for a front office in the perception and information war. And so is Coach Casey, a very knowledgeable person that worked very hand in hand with Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster for years. So he knows them better than any casual idiot at home on their keyboard on Twitter. So y'all need to listen to Coach Casey and really respect and value having our front office. He's exactly right. Exactly right. David saying, not so hidden. He was the first pick overall. I'm not even sure who you're talking about. Let's see. Jillian saying, Lex, I have to tell you something. All right. You can tell me something, Jillian. You can just tell me. Or if you don't want to tell me here. Seymour saying, please don't move, OG. And he's got a cry face. Oh. Chris is saying, to fix Flynn, Casey could turn him into the Rock. Oh, I don't even know how to handle that. I don't know how to fix Flynn. David saying, Lo, you guys talk about Flynn too much. Get a life. Yeah, I'm just going to say he wasn't that good. He got limited in his minutes, and it is what it is. Bryce saying, laugh out loud. I feel he's growing on me right now, but still think he should be moved. I'm with that, and David's giving you a cookie. I'm all about the cookies, David. Keep giving cookies. They're good. MSJ saying, to get better, you have to focus on your weakness first. Flynn's truth is we just need another point guard. I'm with this. I want to like throw up my hands and just say, whatever. Let's just try somebody different, new. Noel, come on up, please. Cowboys saying the Raptors had some Alberta beef at halftime. Chef Darko. bringing that Alberta beef up again. Are you like on their payroll to advertise for 100% Alberta beef? It's the best beef in North America. Yeah, let's see. David's saying we needed another guard ever since Fred was our point guard. If you think Flynn sucks, blame Fred and Nick. See you guys. Yeah, David's a very big Flynn stan. Very, very big Flynn stan. I think that we could do better. I think we can improve that position. And I think that's all anybody is saying here is that we could do better. We could have a better person doing better things with that time and that position. That there's an upgrade or an update that we could do, David, with all due respect. We could do better than having Flynn as our backup point guard. We could have a better backup point guard. Some people think it should be Dennis. Let's see. Jillian's saying, when I'm out in a boot in Raptorland comments, I feel the slightest bit of pressure to represent Raptor Freaks, laugh out loud. And I notice other Raptor Freaks I see out in a boot, they represent too. Bam. That is the thing, Jillian Moody. I love you so much. This is the thing I wanted to create with this channel. Real fans that are really for the team and they're ready to stand up for the team in places where people may be slighting them or being overly negative, and just being a voice of positive perspective, and also so that the people can maybe like be more educated. Some of the problem with the Raptors Nation is that we're just really not smart in basketball ways, and some people just have really crazy takes, and they really have wild ways of looking at the game. Some people just very much overvalue scoring and shooting, and they don't value like grunt work or dirty work, like rebounding and defense and certain things. Like Jakob gets a diss because they think, oh, he can't score, so he sucks. Well, they don't understand all the other things that he does. So in some ways, the acts of what you're doing in other places and other Raptor Freaks, I appreciate so much, because it's the fight for good information and informing more of the Raptors Nation on stuff so that they understand it more clearly and they're more educated. And then also helping inspire, getting behind your team in a real passionate, real fan way, instead of a toxic, like I'm going to kick the team while it's down and make fun of it because they made me sad because I don't like losing. And I'm abusive towards it because they made me feel negative feelings because they lost. So it's just in some ways we're teaching people how to be a less cynical fan in Toronto sports market, and teaching people how to be a true fan that stands behind their team, win or lose. And I appreciate you, Jillian, having that feeling to want to do that at this point. This is the thing I want to spread, that more and more. And if we can get this to be more of the culture around the Raptors fan nation and defeat more of the toxicness around it, then we have done our job. And I appreciate all y'all for doing it anywhere you guys do it. Seriously. And Jillian, thank you for being a part of our team. And you know, we are everywhere. We're the ones that care the most because we're the very passionate Raptors fans. And we will be in all those spaces, and you will see other Raptor Freaks in those spaces too. And it's just like that meme with Robert Redford. I see what you're doing there, Jimmy Pope. I see what you're doing there, Tristan Phipps. I see what you're doing there, Shere Khan. I see what you're doing there, Cool Cat. It's that kind of thing. I get that feeling all the time. I'll go to places and somebody will already be there from being a regular in this channel. And I'll be like, yeah, good comment. And I always like it. Like if Blackhawk is the first one in there commenting on the interviews or something, and he says something astute, I'll like it. I'll always put a little thumbs up on Raptor Free comments I see in other places. So usually if you're getting a thumbs up, it may be one of the from me, just so you know. Is it in yet? Interesting name. All right, welcome to the channel. Let's see if you're friendly. Let's see what you got to say. Oh, this is the same guy who was here the other day. I think he just made another comment, another name. All right, let's see what he said. This is exactly the same comment that he made from the other day. So I know it's the same person. So I'm just going to hide them. I'm not going to apologize to the Sixers. I'm not going to apologize to Sixers Nation. All I'm going to do is say fuck you, and you know, we'll play you on Friday, and we'll have fun. We'll see how it goes there. And whatever happens, it happens. I'm glad that you went to the trouble to make a second YouTube account just to come in and say the exact same thing you said 2 days ago. Wow, that's exciting, Sixers fan. Now fuck off and eat a dick. How about that? Is it in yet? Is it because it's so small? Yeah, I think that's why you said that. There you go. Evelyn's saying, good morning, fam. Good morning to you, Granny Evelyn. Yeah, I was unprofessional in what I just said. Yeah, I know. It's unprofessional today. Cowboy's saying, good morning, Granny Swag. Yes, good morning to our favorite Granny Swag. Yes, yes. Oh, man, he gave me $2, even though I deleted his ass from this. I don't care. You can throw money at me, but you're still out of the channel. This is not Sixers Freak. This is Raptors Freak. That's right. Jillian saying, I said a lot of nice things about the Sixers today anyway. So you got that at least. You heard me say some nice things about Nick Nurse, the evil, maniacal terrorist coach that we used to employ, and now you guys got. Yeah. Jillian saying at Seymour, OG will be back now that he's got his punishment. He just needs to be consistent. Cheers. I hope so. I like to see OG come correct to every Raptors game. That's right. G saying, who is this guy? Who is this guy? I know. It's like there's a cookie for him from Cowboy. Jillian saying, is it in yet? You don't get your buttocks. You're gonna get your buttocks kicked by Lex. No, I don't have any tolerance for this right now. In fact, it was the same exact comment that another person did the other day, and I kicked them out already. This guy may make a couple of different accounts and keep coming back. I don't know. I don't give a shit. Whatever. However he wants to spend his time, it's fine. It's fine. He can do that. He'll get kicked out every time. Let's see. Is it in yet? No. Fred VanVleet took the money, and Nick Nurse seemed disinterested in the final playoff game. To make it personal is not correct. The NBA is a business, and as fans, just focus on the team you have. That's right. That's right. And we're going to come to Wells Fargo. We'll give it our best shot. Y'all will probably blow us out, and it is what it is. It's just different timelines and different places where people are and with what's going on in the NBA. Yeah, you feel good and mighty. High mighty Sixers. Get really feeling good about your chances for good things this year. Because I know at some point it's just going to be what it always is. You're going to fail at some point. And I'll be there to when you fail at the end of the season, at the playoffs, whenever you do. Yeah, something's going to go wrong. You know that, Sixers. Don't get too happy or too like, oh, everything's going so great. You know that's when it all turns around for y'all. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And like I said, I have a bounty on y'all just like I got a bounty on the Celtics this year. Both teams, whatever team puts them out of the playoff contention, I'm wearing your gear on my channel. Whatever team in the NBA puts the Celtics out of the league, like the Miami Heat did last year, I wore a Miami Heat shirt on this channel. It was a Kyle Lowry shirt, but anyway. And then whoever puts out the Sixers this year, I will wear your team's gear on this channel in honor of you eliminating two hated arch enemies in our Atlantic Division. That's right. That's what I'll do. That's right. Let's see. Cool Cat saying at the game, Pascal was trying to get the team going. He was clapping hard, telling the team, let's go. Then he ran over to OG and whispered in his ear, OG, we need you to be a part of the trio. There you go. So Cool Cat went to the game again. She wants to soak up as much of this edition of the Raptors while it is still existing like this. And she went to the game again. And she's telling us the insider stuff from what she saw. I did see Siakam very active with clapping and communication and getting the guys rallied up. And I appreciated that from a true leader and a superstar. And at one point, Siakam did a move last night where he stole the ball and ran it back and got a layup. And I said, that's a superstar move. That is the kind of stuff superstars do late in the game to help their team win. And when Siakam garnered that steal in the transition basket real easy, I was like, that's a superstar play by a superstar named Siakam. And I love seeing that. An alley-oop to Cool Cat from Cowboy. I like it. I like it. Where's Cool Cat on here? She is on here, right? There she is right there. All right, Cool Cat getting another dunk. All right, let's see. Keep going. I got to add up all the dunks again soon. There's a lot. I haven't added them up in a while. Monica's saying her 3 stars of the game are Scotty, Pascal, Gary, and me. All right, let's see. Cowboys putting you on blast for player of the game. Let's see. Cowboys saying represent, Jillian. Let's go, Raptor Freaks. Yeah. And Jillian saying, Lex, I like Precious, but he wasn't there at the end. No, he couldn't play at the end because they benched him. They had a different starting lineup. The starters with Gary without Yak. And in some ways, I could see Precious, he was a little sad when they took him out after that because that was pretty soon after that huge dunk he made. He sat for the rest of the game. But listen, he's a team player. He's a nice guy. But his time will come eventually. I really do feel like in some ways Precious is a big part of our future. And Raptors fans should really value him growing. And as I said earlier, I think he's going to make a year 5 leap. Just like Sky's making a year 3 leap right now, I think next year, for some reason, I have a feeling that Precious is going to leap into a whole other stratosphere of kind of play that he can play as a player because he's just more controlled, savvy, and veteran in his 5th year as an NBA player. He grows up a little bit and he controls things a little bit and he's more directed. Whoa, look out. The sky's the limit with Precious also. Unlimited is what I'm saying. Yeah. Fiercely saying, actually, I believe the reason Fred is doing well in Houston is that he is now a shooting guard. I saw the lineup yesterday and Jalen Green was the point guard. See, M.A.'s smart. He saw that some of the best stuff that Fred did in his time with the Raptors was when Kyle played with him, and they were both kind of ambiguous about both roles. Now, Jalen Green can obviously play both roles also. So they're probably playing a hybrid kind of style like Lowry and Van Vliet would have for us in years past. And I haven't watched them myself, but Ime Udoka is a good coach. And if he's seen what worked with Fred in the past, he's going to do it for sure with his team now. Jillian saying, did David leave already? Gary has a $1 million job. I don't know. I don't know if David left. David's around. He's just cantankerous. He has a low patience for Flynn bashing, and he doesn't want us bashing Malachi right now. In some ways, I get it. Jillian saying, yes, Lex, Gary is an excellent follower. Cheers. I think that Gary's awesome. He's a pro. It had been so long since we heard him in the press conference after the game because he just hasn't played well this year. And getting to hear him at the mic, and it was funny because they asked him straight up, there's like, how do you feel about Coach Darko at this point in the season? You said a lot of glowing things about him in the offseason before the season started at Media Day. You said things about him connecting with you and he really cares and that you felt like a good relationship with Darko. How do you feel about it now in a couple months of season? And everybody, they're baiting him to be like, well, be upset. No, Gary said, I'm totally bought in with what Darko's doing. He's a great coach. He really is looking out for us. I'm doing whatever he wants me to do. He didn't complain about not starting. He didn't complain about his minutes. He didn't complain like all these other idiots are complaining for him in other places. He's an ultimate pro, and he's absolutely fine with his role off the bench and what he's doing. It's other people projecting what they want on him, and Gary does not care. In some ways, he knows himself that he needed to play better himself, and it is exactly true. And that he was the key to all this the whole time. Not anything coach could do, not anything with the starting lineup. It's Gary. Gary has to play better, make his shots, and everything will work out. And that's part of it is. It's like, I just got to show up and try and help the team win no matter what every single night is what he said. Ultimate professional. He has no beefs with Darko and the way he has him coming off the bench. So get over yourselves, whiny toddlers, whining for Gary to start. Whine, whine, whine. And if you keep whining because he doesn't change it, well, then you just sound like a little 3-year-old kicking the ground at Yorkdale Mall. That's right. That's right. That's what y'all sound like when you're all like, Chris is saying Dennis is solid this year. He is able to make things happen in needed moments. Sure, he misses those tricky finesse shots some games, but he is a dynamic guard. Did you see that one pass he threw to Precious in the lane that was such an easy layup? There's a lot of things about Dennis that people are just not respecting. They really do think that he's just a career backup guard. That's not true. I'm serious, y'all. That these people need to understand FIBA was a level up. He's a Pokemon that just leveled up. He's a new permutation or evolution of a Pokemon from the old Dennis Schroeder Pokemon. And then people need to catch up with that and realize the latest version of Dennis Schroeder is a FIBA MVP, and he's also a legit starting point guard in the NBA. Y'all have the old Beckett. You need to get the new Beckett for this year and the new Street and Smith. Oh, those old magazines you get at the beginning of the season that tell you the preview of all the teams from back in the day. You go to the grocery store and you see it. And you're like, oh, Mom, can I get this? Can I get this magazine? It's got the preview for the NBA season. I want to see who's teams on what teams and stuff like that. Yeah, nobody bought that Street and Smith that told you that Dennis Schroeder had leveled up this summer at FIBA World Cup. And now he's a legitimate starting point guard. Some of y'all didn't get the memo. And y'all need it. Seriously, go buy that Street and Smith. And if mommy won't let you buy it, then get a tantrum on the floor of the Yorkdale Mall, motherfuckers. Yeah. All right. Unprofessional today. That's right. Jillian saying Fred is no longer a point guard. It's ambiguous. Him and Lowry are the same. They're hybrid guards. They can revert at any given time. And in some ways, it's a disservice to say that Fred is no longer a point guard, especially when he's having like crazy stat lines recently where he has high assists and hardly any turnovers. That's a point guard still. It's ambiguous. They're hybrid guards, both him and Lowry. They always were the whole time. Fiercely saying, is it in yet? Keep your money. Nurse was no longer a fit for us. Glad he's in paradise land with Moron Maury for now. Good comment, Fiercey. I like it. Cowboy saying alley-oop to Fiercey for that one. Yeah, that's a good burn. There you go. Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. You can put the stripper money in my G-string. Whatever. I'm cheap. I'm unprofessional. Let's see. Fiercey saying at Jillian, I don't know if he was only yesterday or on a regular basis. It just happened to stumble across it yesterday. I don't even know what you're talking about exactly. Okay. Anyway, all right. I see that you guys have cut me off a couple times, and I am nearing. I got 20 minutes, and then we'll be done. I know I should have been running through these a little bit better, but it is what it is. In some ways, let's see. Okay, is it in yet? Has got a lot more comments. I'm not going to read them. Let's see. MSJ saying the Nick Nurse era ended, just the ebb and flow, and Darko and Barnes are building what Nick Nurse had no interest in. Yeah, after Scotty. Jillian saying, is it in yet? Nick Nurse planned his move to Philly. He was good for a while, but he wasn't concerned with our bench. We're glad Nick's good now, but Philly, I don't think your name is a good choice. That's all funny. I love everything she said there. MSJ saying, is it in yet? Yeah. And so what are you saying? That you are the same level of commentator here as Joel is on the court? And laughing at him. Another alley-oop to Jillian. Yeah, sure. That was pretty funny because she said, I don't think that's a very good name. I mean, it is what it is. That's what it is. It is. All right, let's see. Bryce is saying Scotty didn't miss a free throw. He deserved it. Yeah, he was awesome at the line. Jillian saying lots of musicians late to their shows. The thing is, they're usually so worth it. It depends. It depends. Oh man, I have such a story. If I had more time, I would tell it right now, but I'm not going to. Fortune Cookie from Cowboy and Jillian saying, "Let it grind your gears. Who cares about Nick's if he's gone?" Yeah, we've gotten over this. Nick Nurse is a champion coach with the Raptors. He's not a champion coach with the Sixers. Pascal Siakam is an NBA champion. Joel Embiid is not an NBA champion. If there's an NBA champion from Cameroon, its name is Siakam. His name is not Embiid. That's all I got to say right there. Yeah. And I don't think Nick Nurse is going to win a championship with the Sixers, and he'll always just be a champion with the Raptors. And you ain't going to never get that championship that you want because somehow, some way, Daryl Morey and everything around that team is going to fuck it up. Somehow, some way, it's going to happen. Trust me. By the end of this year, somehow, some way, it'll get fucked up. Jillian saying Grady Dick has a show. Good for him. Yeah, it's like a rookie interview show. Let's see. Bryce is saying he did what he did. It was time for him to go. Shit happens. We're fine with Darko. Don't come in here trying to cause drama. Yeah, I already deleted his messages. I did not read them. I didn't even see them. I just saw, is it in yet? No, it isn't. And it's out right away. That's right. Jillian saying, Lex, Kyle Lowry did that foul testing, responding on the referees all the time. This worked wonders. Yeah, the charge taking. Scotty just learned something. It could be that Brandon Miller gave him something new. Wayne saying Grady should be focusing on making shots. Haven't seen him score a bucket in a while. The league is fucked. In some ways, he's still adjusting. He's still young. He should be a sophomore at Kansas right now. And in some ways, this year is just an orientation year. Don't expect a whole lot from Grady. It's not like he's Keontae George or Jordan Hawkins or Brandon Miller. He's a totally different schedule as a rookie. And we just got to allow him to have that schedule. Let's see. Your name is profane. It's actually sad is what it is. Randolph saying, Lex and friends, the NBA is getting better and stronger each year as first to fourth year players' development are put on display. The win is a bright spot for us. There you go. I like that positivity by Randolph. And you go, Miss Moody. That's right. And Jillian saying, Randolph Phillips, you get a dunk. All right, there you go. Jillian's throwing lobs now and giving them to the great Randolph Phillips, one of our favorite people on this channel, original Raptor Streak, somebody who's been here with us for years now. We love Randolph. He has definitely been a regular for a long, long, long time. Where is Randolph on this list? I know he doesn't have a whole lot. There he is. There he is. I found him. I know he has some, but he doesn't have a whole lot of dunks. 10:30. Thank you, Jillian. It's now 11:44. Let's see. MSJ saying he left us. Do I blame him as a coach myself for a year? Not really. He has Joel now. But Nick Nurse had it in his mind to leave. Rich Paul, Daryl Morey, and Nick Nurse concocted this scheme at some point in the last year or so. I think it was around this time last year, actually. I don't know. I should look at the schedule. When we were around Philly, Daryl Morey came up to Nick Nurse and said straight up, you shouldn't be coaching Toronto. You should be coaching with me and come to Philadelphia. Well, the wheels started turning. Maybe Rich Paul heard him say that. And he was probably like, Nick, Daryl's right. In some ways, we should have you stateside for all kinds of reasons. And why are you wasting your time up in Toronto? Well, Nick's a company guy. He's probably like, well, I really have a commitment to the Raptors. I want to stay with them long term. I have all these plans. My family's here. I've become a Canadian citizen, all this kind of stuff. I want to do this. I want to do that. And but Rich Paul's influence was probably very heavy in this. And Daryl was like, you got it. As soon as I will fire Doc and I'll put you in as soon as possible. I mean, that's how it went down. And Nick, it's not natural for him to want to sabotage his team or shave wins as a coach. And he did that last year for a part of our season. He really was not playing hard. And the way we lost in the play-in was Nick just gave up and he didn't try. And he didn't coach the whole second half against Chicago in that DR DeRozan game. And he very much sabotaged us on purpose. He knew that if he won that play-in game and he had gone in the playoffs, that we would not probably fire him. So he had to make sure that we were really bad enough that Masai would fire him. And the cherry on top was his little press conference in Philadelphia once again with Keith Pompey and all those guys. And they broadcast it and let it be known that he said this stupid shit where he had already checked out of the season. And he put it in the order that he did, and he made it sound like he was not with the team at all at that point. And he forced Masai to fire him. It was either go on, hold him into the contract next year, and he's unhappy, and he continues to sabotage our team for another year, or we let him go, and we just let him get what he wants, him and Rich Paul and Daryl Morey. That's basically what happened last year. Masai's hands were tied. He had to fire his ass. And that's why Raptors fans were like, why did you do that, Masai? That's a fail. No, Nick forced his hand. And that's just how it is. He had to fire him, and that's how it went. So I blame Rich Paul. I blame Daryl Morey for planting the seed. And Nick Nurse, in some ways, it went against his protocol as a way he thinks to try and lose. But he had to do it so he could get free to go to Philadelphia. And that's how it all went down. The fact that he didn't take the Phoenix job or the Milwaukee job told me enough to know that this was all prearranged and that he had already decided all this with Daryl Morey while he was still a Raptors coach. And that's tampering. And if the NBA gave a shit about the Raptors equally like everybody else, if this was the Lakers, they would have investigated this shit and the Sixers would have gotten in trouble for how they handled this tampering with our coach under contract. That's just the damn truth about the whole situation right there. If we were a different team and higher standing in the league, maybe Adam Silver would have been investigating for the Sixers and Daryl Morey for tampering with our current coach here at last year. There you go. There you go. I spelled it out for you. Is it in yet? There you go. Little lesson for you on your new coach. That's how I went down. Fiercely saying, I am French, so I definitely know your name isn't. Also, we are good over here without Nick Nurse. His aspirations were no longer aligned with the Raptors. He had to go. Time to start fresh for both pointers. How do you keep a toxic coach that is sabotaging the team on purpose because he wants to leave around? You can't. So he had to fucking go. Masai said, hasta la vista. In some ways, Nick dared him at the end. He's like, oh, you wouldn't fire me. You're not crazy enough to do that. I'm one of the best things about this team right now. Well, Masai called your bluff. And he said, no, motherfucker, you are fired. And everybody tried to say he wasn't fired. No, Masai fired him. He fired him. He said, you're fucking out, Nick, because you fucking gave up on this team at the end of the season. And that's a cardinal sin. That's a cardinal sin. And I've seen the fuckery that you've been doing all season, the confusion, all the messed upness around this team. A lot of it had to do with you, bro. A lot of it had to do with you. That's right. We're going to rock with our team no matter what. That's right. Carlos saying the Raptors show trio again clowning Darko, saying that his positivity is too much for the team. This season is breaking these clowns. Those idiots don't know how to deal with this shit. They should watch me. I bet you they do on the down low. They were like, they probably hate me because they're like, fuck, man, that guy is doing what we should be doing better. Oh my gosh. Because that's the damn truth. I'm informing Raptors Nation better than these jabronis. I'm talking about shit that matters more than these jabronis because I have no filter. I don't have Rogers looking over me telling me what I can and can't say. I can say whatever the fuck I want. Fuck you, Ed Rogers III, you piece of shit. That's right. They can't say that. I have free speech and they don't. So they have to be little clowns and act a little stupid and talk about AEW wrestling. All right, let's see. MSJ saying, is it in yet? But as a Raps fan, we made Joel cry. Ha ha, he actually cried. And we will forever have that over him and you forever. That's right. Nick Nurse, he was a terrorist to your team and he made your big man cry. Cry, cry, cry. And I still don't believe that y'all are going to make the whole season healthy. He is running the hell out of you guys. That's right. He's going to overrun Maxey and Embiid. And you better keep your fingers crossed that those guys stay healthy for the whole season because he's going to run them to the ground. That's what we told y'all as soon as he came over there. Oh, this is going to be fun. Let's see Joel, how he runs on the schedule that Nick Nurse is going to put him through. That's right. Alley-oop to Fiercey, alley-oop to MSJ. All right. You're going to use up all the balls on the ball rack, Cowboy. You keep calling these alley-oops out every which way. There's no more balls on the ball rack. Carlos saying, Lex, you really got the Nick Nurse voice down. Laugh out loud. You think I do a pretty good Nick Nurse? Yeah, I like it. I've had a lot of practice. I did it a lot last year. A lot last year. Let's see. MSJ saying yes. You here we can enjoy our championship. I don't know if you were alive to see 1983 or the last Sixers championship, and we are going to win another before you are. Joel won't win one and retire, and then Barnes will. Barnes is going to win one while Joel's still around. That's right. That's right. That's right. I love everything you said, Chris. And thank you to Cowboy and Dap and Jillian saying, Wayne Strainer, respectfully, some players have a family and that helps to balance them. Dennis has 3 kids. Scotty has yoga and a dog. Grady has a show. Grady has a cat too. He has a little cat, I think named Inky or Blinky or Smokey or something. Smokey. I think that's the cat's name, Smokey. Smokey the cat. And he's got a car, a badass Mustang. That's what Grady's got. Yeah. Wayne's saying it was quite noticeable that Malachi was giving up the ball to Pascal nearly all the time. Lesson learned, it seems. That should be basic instead of instructional. Give your best player the ball early. He just needed a reminder. You know, they've been playing together for a long time, and Malachi's been pretty good about that. But he fucked up the other day, and Pascal let him know, and everybody else did, and Malachi got with it. Yeah, that's what we want to see. Cool Cat saying, I'm back. I had to run off to a meeting. In the arena, we felt like spectators instead of fans, willing our team to win. Ugh. The vibes are gone. Wondering if players are tuning him out a bit. I don't know if that's what it is. I mean, seriously, I don't know what it was. They were so flat at the beginning of the game. Whatever happened, they turned it around and they figured it out and they won the game. I mean, in some ways, that's a win. I don't think it's the coach. I think that these guys are just kind of like malaise, kind of have a humdrum kind of feeling around them right now. And I loved Scotty's reaction to it. He like rose up and went 10 times when everybody else was kind of flat. And he really did kind of carry us out of that funk by playing such exceptionally aggressive, energetic basketball. And that's the superstar that he is. He's showing some stuff about, I'm going to pull us out of the mud if we're in trouble. That's the kind of guy I want on my team. And Scotty really impressed me with that last night. Wayne saying, don't think OG checked out. He just doesn't know how to take what's available, not his nature. Yeah, I wonder about that. I mean, they keep telling him when there's space, fill it, OG. Now, you see space in the court where you can run through the lane and just dunk it on somebody like you did the other day. Do it. Do it is what they're telling him. They want him to be aggressive and fill space. If there's a lane, to go and take it. Yeah, we want him to shoot that 3, but we want him to make it. And the 0 for last night at 3 was not good for us last night. In some ways, I was worried that OG is doing what I just blamed Nick for. He's kind of slumming us on purpose. And in some ways, I don't think he's trying to hurt us. But in some ways, maybe it's like he's trying to not make it easy to trade him because his value's not as high up. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. I just wish he'd be consistent and OG Plumbing Company would be more in effect. Cool Cat saying we don't need to chain. We don't need no chain. It was a painful game. I was able to tolerate it because the ticket was cheap. So I got to see Pascal and Scotty live. Yeah. Yeah. In the arena, I'm sure it was really depressing the first half. Oh, yeah. I'll bet it was. I'll bet it was. Dana's saying, good morning, everybody. Good morning to Canadian Dana showing up. Good to see you. Dana in the house. Good morning. Bam. OG will be back. Yeah. I want to see him bounce back against tomorrow. We need him against the Nuggets. We're going to need you to play some good defense tomorrow, OG. Yes, yes, and yes, OG. Show up. It's the champs. Let's get them. Cowboys saying later, Lex. Bam. Rapid Freaks. Have a blessed and safe day. Let's go, Raptors. Let's keep winning. See you soon, Cowboy. 11 o'clock. Thank you. Can't wait, Mug Brothers. Let's go, Rapid Freaks. Fiercely saying thanks for the alley-oop, Cowboy. Trevor J says, I do Coca-Cola. No cocaine. Wayne Strainer saying silent pause. Pause, 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 pause. Pause, 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 pause. Cowboys saying, I love my Ottawa ladies. Can't wait to meet you gals. And Rapid Freak family is legit. Great people and characters. That's right. We're going to do something in the fall. I mean, in the spring. Yeah, somebody gonna come here to Toronto. We'll get everybody together. That's right. Julian's saying, oh wait, I wonder if OG's being such a private person. Maybe he has an injury or ailment or illness. I don't know what it is. He's aloof. He's an enigma. And in some ways, the enigma of OG has been fantastic to have on this team. And well, if he's still on this team going forward, I'm fine with it. But if he's gone, in some ways, things runs their course. And that's just how it is. Blackhawk saying Dwayne Casey is just looking for a way to get out of the U.S. Position doesn't matter to him. Neil, you're awesome, man. That's really good stuff. That's really good stuff. That's hilarious. I don't blame him. Dwayne Casey's a very smart man. And in some ways, he's like, Canada's feeling pretty good. I want to go back. I'm all about this. Hire him, Masai. Get him back. Get him back. Save him from the Pistons, please. He deserves it. He did so many good things for us. Monique saying, W stream, W vibes. Keep at it always, Lex. Good times, good times. Go Raptors. Thank you, Monique. And Blackhawks saying, go Raptors. Jillian's got the 11:30, and I'm at 11:56. I wonder what Detroit thinks of Mr. Casey coming up for a visit. His Raptors Tonight interview was amazing. Go Raps, go. I'm gonna have to watch it. I bet you they sent him up here to scout. Are they playing the Hornets too? They could have been. He would have been scouting both teams because they may be playing the Hornets soon too. Stargate saying, "Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Late to the party. Do you know we still have people on Twitter complaining about that win last night? I'm complaining about it. I said they're unprofessional. I'll be unprofessional too. Why not? Tristan's laughing. Igor's here. I love Igor. Igor's awesome, man. Igor, when you show up, I just enjoy it. Let's see what you're saying. I disagree. Schroeder plays too many minutes, plays slow down too much when he plays. The team plays better with fast pace. It makes much easier for them to score when they do. This team's no good in ISO and when they hold the ball too long. Ideally, I'd like us to be more in transition and up and down the court, but in some ways, that's totally dictated by the referees and what they will allow. They can really put a cap on getting up and down the court by stymieing the flow of the game. So in some ways, I'd ideally love to have an up and down, fast break, full court offense. But it's not allowed all the time by the refs. And sometimes there's a green light and they allow it, and sometimes they don't. Now, I'm going to disagree with you disagreeing because Schroeder is playing. All right, first of all, let's look at it really closely. Schroeder played 34 minutes last night. I don't think it was that bad. That wasn't too long. Out of everybody, he had the fourth most minutes, just ahead of OG. But OG played like shit. So in some ways, I get why Schroeder played more than him. Now, part of it is also Dennis is playing really good defense on the guards on the other side. The stuff that happened with Trae Young the other day would have been 10 times worse if Dennis wasn't out there trying to guard him. So in some ways, he's much better to be guarding people like Rozier and Young. And it's not always about offense. It's about his defense on the other guards. It's about how he organizes the team and helps them be in structure and kind of know what they're doing and look professional, which wasn't happening totally last night. But that is stuff that he does that's intangibles, that has nothing to do with scoring, has nothing to do with passing, that he is doing to help this team. And once again, I will say this, he's the linkage of Darko on the court and the person that Darko trusts the most. If you're a new coach in a new job and you're having a frustrating time getting different players to do the right things for you, you're going to play the one guy that you trust the most that is doing the stuff that you want to be done on the court. So I'll disagree in that. He is a very good up-tempo game. In fact, if you're worried about him slowing the game down, no, he's one of our fastest players. So that's in some ways, I'm just going to respectfully disagree with you, Igor. Are you related to the great Nikolai? I would like to know the great Nikolai of the WWF. Yeah. Cara mia, must we say goodbye? Is carrying me my heart on to die. All right, Jillian's saying, yes, Lex. Nick's other interviews were just for a show. Fuck him. Raptors rock. That's right. I love it, Jillian. She's got me at 11:50. We're going to make it just in time, y'all, it looks like. Oh, my gosh. We're almost there, and I've got just a few. Space Cadet saying, Fiercey Fred is still the PG, and Jalen Green is the SG. I think they're interchangeable. And you're both right. Wayne's saying Grady having a podcast show is nothing but a distraction in his young professional career. If he needs balance on his pet and cleaning his car, podcasts require preparation. He should be in the gym. Well, this is the thing. It's not totally him that's doing it. It's with Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report has put him up to it because he's a personable young rookie, and they've asked him to do it. So basically all they did, Wayne, was they had him and Brandon Miller meet in a hotel room on Sunday, the day before our game, and they sat down for like an hour. And they just shot the shit between each other sitting on the bench. Two rookies in the NBA talking about rookie life. There's nothing wrong with this. In some ways, this is good for his getting out there and being more known as a personality. It's good for, I don't think it's really a bad thing for him to do in his off time. They had the whole weekend off, all of the Raptors, and they could have been doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And in fact, I think that's part of the reason why they had a bad start today. Because in some ways, the having the whole weekend off is like a 9 to 5er, like everybody else. you can kind of come back to work and feel like you're kind of like, you know how Monday mornings are when you're 9 to 5, 5 days a week. Yeah, in some ways, that's kind of the energy that the Raptors showed up with. They've had 2 weekends in a row where they've had Saturday and Sunday off. This is another one of those theories I'll say about the NBA schedule that's insidious. The biorhythm of the schedule of this season has been really awful for the Raptors. There's no thing to it. Now, this couple last weekends, they've gotten real weekends off. So in some ways, the game when they come back on Monday is being treated just like somebody coming back to work at 9 a.m. on Monday morning after being out for the whole weekend. And that's part of the problem with what happened last night. And in some ways, it's weird when NBA teams have both Saturday and Sunday off. That's like a regular 9 to 5 job. And in some ways, they may fall into the malaise of a Monday morning coming back to work on a long work week. So I think that was part of what happened there. Now, Grady doing that on his weekend instead of going out drinking and womanizing or doing anything crazy the whole weekend, that's much better for him to do a podcast and do stuff like that. So I don't think it's a distraction. It's not like he's going to be like Draymond. He's going to be trying to do podcasts at halftime. I think that it's a Bleacher Report conjunction thing, and they handle all the doing stuff. He just has to show up and just ask the questions, and that's it. He doesn't have to do any of the work. They have the platform. They're putting it all together. They have the technicians, and Grady is just there as the host, and that's it. Jillian saying, Blackhawk, I saw you tell off Flynn in a comment during the news conference. Laugh out loud. That's right. Raptor Freak family's strong in Raptors tonight. Yeah, and also in the press conferences. We're everywhere. We're a force, and we should be. I want us to be more and more positive Raptors fans out there more and more and make it more cool for the youngsters and other people to come up and be the Raptor Freak way. That's really my biggest goal with this channel is to make more positive fans in a toxic fan nation of the Raptors. That's all. And you guys are awesome. You all are great, shining examples of that. You really are. Fiercely saying thank you to Space Cadet. I probably got to switch. And Igor's got me 100%. Igor, man, I love you, bro. I disagree with you on Dennis, but I'm okay with disagreeing with you, man. It's cool. Milbester's here, Knicks fan in the house. Let's see what he's saying. He's friendly with us. We're okay with him, unlike Jabroni Sixers fan who was here earlier. Let's see what he's saying. Morning Raptors fan. How's your week and weekend was? Knicks beat LeBron and the Lakers in L.A. without Mitch and Sims. AD 32 points and LeBron 25, but we won to end the 4-game West trip going 2-2. You know, I've been seeing these clips this weekend of Jalen Brunson as a young kid working out with his dad, Rick, on the court, and they showed his form, and it's just like how his form is now. I'm impressed with you guys. In some ways, once again, out of all the Atlantic Division opponents, I root for y'all at least a little bit because in some ways I have very good friends that are Knicks fans historically, and I've seen the pain on them over the decades. And I kind of want my friends like Alan and Mecca to have something more to root for with Knicks doing better. So in some ways, the renaissance and the new stuff that's going on with the Knicks is something I'm not totally hating on. If not, in some ways, I wish we would just beat y'all every time we played you. But I'm not going to hate on this. And especially if you guys are going to go and put an L on King James, good job, Knicks. I'm all for you. In that matchup, I got you. I got you, Milbester. How about that? All right, Jillian, I went over time, but I don't care. I'm feeling good. I'm being unprofessional. I'm going to go over my time today. I started late, and I'm going to go late just a little bit. Milbester saying also, we beat the Suns in Phoenix with Durant and Booker and LeBron and AD with a healthy Lakers team in L.A. The Jazz game we threw away, losing by 4, but Clippers killed us in the revenge game from MSG. Yeah, not a bad West Coast trip. I would say you split it, and maybe you shouldn't have lost to the Jazz. That's for sure. But great wins over the Lakers and Suns for you, Mel Bester. All right, a little Knicks freak talk there. Urban tea. I will be getting that. I had a great tea yesterday, Jillian. It's so good. All right, let's do a recap. My 5 stars of the game for last night. Scotty Wayne Barnes leveling up as a superstar. What's to come in the future, Raptors fans? You see the brightness of that star, that all-star coming down in the future. More and more coming. Pascal Siakam, leading scorer for the Raptors, 2nd star. 3rd star is Gary Trent Jr. getting his first double-double in his career and finally waking up and getting out of the mud. Maybe because Gary Trent Sr. was there. Who knows? Precious Achiuwa, my 4th star. And Dennis Schroeder is my 5th star from last night. Precious, what a great dunk last night. I love it. We got Scotty Barnes and Chris Boucher on Instagram celebrating each other in their Instagram stories. I love it. Dennis was wearing an awesome purple jumpsuit when he came in the game last night. Very throwback Raptors looking. Siakam, very, very much awesome with the fans before the game. He was signing everybody's autographs, all their jerseys, and just being an awesome dude. Siakam, you're a badass with the fans And I love seeing you giving so much back to everybody. And we love you, man. We love you, Siakam. You're always going to be a Raptors legend forever, forever. And then Siakam had a winner of some sort of contest that he had. It was sitting in this seats. It was part of the PS43 Foundation. This guy and his wife were there enjoying the game together. And of course, Mr. New York City is down in Orlando at the showcase, the G League showcase. Raptors 905 are playing tonight at 6:30. Be ready to watch them play against Sioux Falls at 6:30 tonight. So be ready for that, guys, in Orlando. I don't know the refs because they didn't release who the refs are. At least I don't think they did. Let me see if they did change it or not. Oh, they did. They gave us the refs finally. The refs for the 905 game are Marcy Williams, crew chief, Ben Sturt, referee, and JP Prim as the umpire. Those are the refs for the 905 game later today. All right, and that's pretty much it, guys. I think that's everything I wanted to talk about today. If you have a Raptors Freak fantasy basketball team, go ahead and set that up for your games. And as always, thank you everybody for watching me today. Raptors win, but yeah, it is what it is. We got to improve, guys. You guys can't play this kind of unprofessionalness and expect to have any chance against most of the teams in this league. Now, the Hornets, half-assed, yeah, you can do it. But the rest of these teams we're playing this week, whether it's the Jazz, the Sixers, or the Nuggets, you can't do this shit that you did last night. You will not win. You will get blown out and embarrassed. So get your shit together and get it right. Scotty said some nice things after the game in his press conference. He said, look, I believe in this team. If we do things right, we're fine. We're going to kick everybody's ass. So he still believes, even though we've played really ugly recently. It really is a dedication to playing ethical basketball in a professional way. And Raptors, as much as you're making free throws last night, which is great, that's an improvement, and making threes, that's an improvement too. Get better on your rebounding and your defense. That shit is not right. And you guys have been really good as one of the best teams in the league in defensive stuff for years recently. And this team that we have is too tall and big to not be better on rebounds. Come on, y'all. Get it together. All right, y'all. I appreciate and love every single one of y'all fighting the good, positive fight in Raptors Nation for the good name of the Raptors. Masai Ujiri, Darko Rajakovic, Dennis Schroeder, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, and even Malachi Flynn. All right, y'all. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Let's go, Raptors. I'll have the preview for the Nuggets game tomorrow, and watch the 905, 6:30. I'll be in the chat in the 905 game if you want to interact with me and talk to me during the 905 game at 6:30 tonight. All right, let's go, Raptors.